Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to No More News. Thank you all for joining me today, Sunday, June 22nd, 2025. Gonna be discussing Trump's bombing of Iran last night, the aftermath, the fallout, the blowback, everybody's reactions, and what's happening next. Gonna be a huge show, tons of stuff to talk about on this historic event of Trump bombing Iran. There's the power chat link is in the description below, as well as pinned to the top of the live chat in Rumble and Odysee. Always appreciate your guys' participation in the show and the financial support. We're going to start with Trump's statement to the nation with his three Zionist hombres here behind him, and then we're going to go to Netanyahu's address, and then to get into all the reactions.
A short time ago, the U.S. military carried out massive precision strikes on the three key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime: Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan.
Now, a lot of talk already that they only damaged the main one, Fordow. The other ones were already attacked by Israel. Also, rumor that Iran knew it was coming, so they removed some of their important stuff. And they're claiming that it was completely destroyed, but now it's coming out actually. They're saying that it was only damaged. The entrance was only damaged. So we'll see. Still no video from the event, which was all predictive programmed, and everybody was persuaded to accept this with the Hollywood Maverick Top Gun movie, by the way. A lot of people are noticing. Have you guys seen Top Gun? I need to watch it to see. I know Iran's the bad guy. I believe they have bunker busters and this B-2 bomber that they used. We're going to get all into the deception about them supposedly negotiating and Trump really wanting peace, and Witkoff and everybody hyping up this idea that Trump had abandoned and betrayed, or that he's cut off Netanyahu and that Trump wanted peace. We got all the receipts. We're going to show you all the frauds that promoted these Zionist lies.
Everybody heard those names for years as they built this horribly destructive enterprise. Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror.
Russia is claiming, and I think North Korea said, Pakistan, a lot of questions about other countries, their allies, just giving them a nuke now. So is the nuclear threat really gone? Or is it even more of a threat now than ever? Because they didn't even have the bomb, supposedly, before. So, great job. Trump's like, oh, all done, mission accomplished. They're like, this isn't war, this is peace. Trump bombing them is peace, actually. That's what the Zog agents are saying.
A stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. Tonight, I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated.
Is that going to turn out to be a total, complete lie? That they're not obliterated? That they moved the important stuff away because they knew it was coming? That they actually only damaged the outside? We will see. There's a lot of rumors circulating about that. Wouldn't be surprised if Trump is just bullshitting, just like he's been bullshitting about wanting peace and bullshitting about these negotiations. He bullshitted claiming that he was going to give it 2 more weeks before he decides on anything.
Iran, the bully of the Middle East.
Israel is currently slaughtering Gaza, bombing Yemen, bombing Hezbollah, and bombing Iran preemptively, and claiming that they're the bullies of the Middle East. And we know about their prophecies of ruling. They want to rebuild the temple, sacrifice their heifers. They're standing by. But of course, Iran's the bully, right? Anti-Semitic to say the Jews are bully, or they have plans for Eretz Israel and Greater Israel and complete hegemony of the Middle East, thanks to their Shabbos Goy Noahide nation, Christian Zionist government of America.
Must now make peace If they do not, future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier. For 40 years, Iran has been saying death to America, death to Israel. They have been killing our people, blowing off their arms, blowing off their legs with roadside bombs. That was their specialty. We lost over 1,000 people, and hundreds of thousands throughout the Middle East and around the world have died as a direct result of their hate. In particular, so many were killed.
They're just blaming every death now on all these failed war on terror in all these countries on Iran. I saw another clip. They were even trying to connect like any of the deaths in Iraq, they're blaming that on Iran too. They're having to go back to the 1982 or 83 bombing in Beirut, claiming that was Iran also.
By their general, Qasem Soleimani. I decided a long time ago that I would not let this happen. It will not continue. I want to thank and congratulate Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu. We worked as a team like perhaps no team has ever worked before.
And all the agents out there in the media told you, oh, Trump's running a coup on Netanyahu. Trump secretly hates Netanyahu. Trump's going to turn on Netanyahu. Trump's playing 4D chess against Netanyahu. Ian Carroll, Alex Jones, so many of the usual suspects were promoting this lie. And I said, bullshit. Bullshit, they own him. He's going to do whatever they want. And I was right, and we're going to show those receipts later on. They worked as a team like never before. Everybody had the hopium, and they wanted to believe that he was going to turn on Netanyahu. And oh, surprise, surprise, it didn't happen. And it was all a grand deception. So Iran thought that he was going to come to the table in good faith. And so all of the people in all the anti-Zionist online and around the world would think, oh, maybe Trump's our guy. He's not really with Netanyahu. He actually hates him. He's going to turn against him. He's going to flip the script on him so that people continue to support Trump. All a lie. Should have listened.
I want to thank so many were killed by their general, Qasem Soleimani. I decided a long time ago that I would not let this happen. It will not continue. I want to thank and congratulate Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu. We worked as a team like perhaps no team has ever worked before. And we've gone a long way to erasing this horrible threat to Israel.
The Super Zog team, the BFFs. The greatest ally to Israel ever. You thought Trump got a lot of awards in the past? You think the Jews gave him a lot of awards in the past? Just wait and see the next few months and years to come. Oh, we haven't seen anything yet. You thought you saw Trump bragging about being the greatest president for Israel ever and all the Jews constantly saying how he's the greatest ally and the greatest president? Just wait now. This is bigger than anything he ever did. He used to brag about the ripping up the Iran deal, which was just the precursor to this, moving the embassy to Jerusalem, giving them the Golan Heights, passing anti-Semitism and BDS laws. Yeah, they're probably going to give him the Nobel Peace Prize. Wouldn't doubt it. He's going to get he's already gotten every top Jewish award, including the Prince of Peace Award. Here's their Prince of Peace. So they're going to have to invent new awards to lavish him with praise for all of this stuff.
I want to thank the Israeli military for the wonderful job they've done.
So tired of winning. That's right. You guys are going to be so tired of winning.
And most importantly, I want to congratulate the great American patriots who flew those magnificent machines tonight, and all of the United States military on an operation the likes of which the world has not seen in many, many decades.
But you did see it in Top Gun Maverick, actually. Very similar.
Hopefully, we will no longer need their services in this capacity. I hope that's so. I also want to congratulate the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Raising Cane, spectacular general, and all of the brilliant...
Raising Cane's? Isn't that like the chicken place? Raising Cane's? Chicken strips?
Military minds involved in this attack. With all of that being said, this cannot continue. There will be either peace or there will be tragedy for Iran far greater than we have witnessed over the last 8 days. Remember, there are many targets left.
Oh, and they're closing the Strait of Hormuz. Gas prices are going to skyrocket. Russia and North Korea and Pakistan, rumors of them just giving them one of their nukes now so that Israel and America don't attack again. We're probably, there's a church that was bombed this morning. We're going to cover that. There's going to be all types of blowback. Angry Muslims around the world very likely are going to be doing lone wolf attacks to get Europeans and get Americans, to get vengeance on everything that's transpired. You know that's all coming. If that doesn't happen, Israel will false flag and blame it on Iran and Muslims. We may see cyber attacks. They've really been signaling the cyber attacks, and by they I mean Mossad in Israel, and the Zionists, the cyber attacks, the sleeper cell attacks. That's what's going to come next, which is going to push us more and more and escalate us into a full-on war with Iran, and then ultimately Russia, China, and full-on Gog and Magog, and all the rabbis and Christian Zionists, and even anti-Zionist Christians, are going to get their end times prophecies like they've always wanted, with the promise that trust the plan and God wins and Jesus is going to return. And that's not going to happen, and the Jews aren't the slightest bit concerned. They're the ones telling you that once all this happens, Jesus is going to return. They're not worried about it. They're perpetuating that deception.
Tonight's was the most difficult of them all, by far, and perhaps the most lethal. But if peace does not come quickly, we will go after those other targets with precision, speed, and skill. Most of them can be taken out in a matter of minutes. There's no military in the world that could have done what we did tonight, not even close. There has never been a military that could do what took place just a little while ago. Tomorrow, General Kane, Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth will have a press conference at 8 a.m. at the Pentagon. And I want to just thank you.
We're going to play that in a second.
In particular, God, I want to just say we love you.
God, baby Jesus, Jesus in the manger, God, Yahweh, Hashem, Hashem, I love you so much. Thank you, Jewish God. Thank you. Praise Israel. Praise America, the Jewish God.
Everybody, and in particular, God, I want to just say we love you, God, and we love our great military. Protect them. God bless the Middle East. God bless Israel, and God bless America. Thank you very much.
God bless Israel, the God of the Bible, the God of Zion. Please bless us all.
Jesus Christ! Oh, Jesus Christ, you're such a little bitch.
That's my take on thank you, God. So fake, too. He's just reading the teleprompter. Can't even do it. He's not, he doesn't believe in this God. Okay, now here's Netanyahu's full statement. It's very short.
Congratulations, President Trump.
He's exuberant.
Your decision to target Iran's nuclear facilities with the awesome and righteous might of the United States.
Righteous, like a righteous Gentile, a Noahide. That's what they call Noahides, righteous Gentiles. Interesting that this attack happened the day after the 23rd of Sivan, I think it was called, on the Hebrew calendar, which is in the book of Esther, in the Purim story, is when they gave the decree to slaughter the Persians. And this is when the big attack from Trump happens. And it also happens on midsummer, on the summer solstice as well.
Will change history. In Operation Rising Lion, Israel is
Rising lion, like the lion of the tribe of Judah. The rising Moshiach, the lion of the tribe of Judah.
done truly amazing things. But in tonight's action against Iran's nuclear facilities, America has been truly unsurpassed. It has done what no other country on earth could do.
No, we're the greatest golem for Israel, thanks to all of our Christians. Thanks, Christians. Hey, all of your awakening and red-pilled and your talking points like Jews aren't Jews and Jesus isn't Jewish and they're the synagogue of Satan and they killed Jesus and they're the Khazarians. Where did that get us, guys? Where has that gotten us? You're just going to keep doubling down? Carlin agrees. Thanks, Christians. Thanks, Christians. And don't just, they're not real Christians. Scapegoat. They're just Schofield. It's just Zionists. No, you're all playing into this prophecy deception. Zion rising. Yeah, the Lion of Zion. The Lion of Judah rising. Moshiach rising.
History will record that President Trump acted to deny the world's most dangerous regime the world's most dangerous weapons. His leadership today has created a pivot of history that...
Oh, yeah. This is very historical, Trump doing this. It's the greatest thing he's ever done for Israel. I see Expose the Enemy is back in the chat. What's up, buddy? John? What's up, John? He says, the truth is Obama knew what they were planning with Iran and tried to stop all this with the Iran deal. And remember Alex Jones? Like, oh, Obama hates Israel and we're going to be cursed because Obama did the Iran deal. And he had Jerome Corsi, the ultra-Zionist guy that promoted Q on to attack him for the Iran deal. And he said when Obama left office and they abstained from vetoing the resolution, he said, he's abandoning Israel. We're going to be cursed by God for this. When Netanyahu was under investigation for corruption charges, Alex Jones says, it's a globalist Soros coup against Netanyahu, who's on Trump's side and trying to save America. Yeah, I'll turn the power chats on in just a minute. Sorry, I forgot I had them off.
That can help lead the Middle East and beyond.
Oh, they want to lead the Middle East, all right. They want their new Middle East. Remember how Netanyahu presented at the UN? The new Middle East. There was no Palestine on there. The new Middle East where they have they took out their only threat, and they're going to have complete dominance of the Middle East with their Abraham Accords and their Third Temple prophecy agenda, and we're all about to see it now. And I told you all Trump was going to get back in the exact way, promise peace, and get us into Gog and Magog. And I need your guys' help to help get the message out so we can try to wake up more people. I saw somebody in the chat saying, like, you need to get active online, spreading the message and the links and the clips, and trying to get other influencers to pay attention to this information because the time is short.
Future of prosperity and peace. President Trump and I often say, peace through strength. First comes
peace
strength,
through war.
then comes peace. And tonight, President Trump and the United States...
See, this is their Kabbalistic thing with their Messiah and Gog and Magog. They always promise a Jewish utopia and peace on earth and everybody singing Kumbaya and grabbing the tassels of the Jewish garment and saying, we heard God was with you, and all the Abrahamics worshiping the one monotheistic God of Israel together as Noahides. But after the big war, they always skip over the big war part and the chaos and the suffering and the mass death.
Acted with a lot of strength. President Trump, I thank you.
He's so happy.
Israel, thank you. The forces of civilization, thank you. God bless America. God bless Israel. And may God bless our unshakable alliance, our unbreakable faith.
Unbreakable faith in the Bible, in the God of Zion. Okay, he also went to the wall with his prayer shaw and said, 10 days ago on the eve of the historic action, I put a note at the Western Wall, they are with the kennel of the universe. What does that mean? Today, the kennel of the universe. What are we, dogs in the kennel? Goyim dogs in the kennel? Kennel. Today, I'm going to have to see what that's about. Today, I return to the same place, and there is a new note. They are with the dog. People of Israel are alive. We will continue to perform wonders and miracles to ensure the eternity. Getting Trump to finally bomb Iran is not a wonder and a miracle. It's called blackmail. It's called buying corruption. It's called buying off politicians. It's called having Zionist frontmen. It's called having slaves to Zion. We will continue to perform wonders and miracles to ensure the eternity of Israel for generations. I am proud of our people. So yeah, he's calling the Iranians dogs, which they call all goyim they consider cattle, right? And the Christians proudly call themselves sheep, following their Jewish Messiah. And you wonder how this is going to end. They think the same thing of Edom. Whatever they think about Iran, we've seen the rabbis. They actually plan for even more vengeance on Edom in the West, Western civilization. I keep hearing this lie now. All of the people that were warned over and over again and should have known better, and instead were addicted to the hopium. They're all saying, this isn't what I voted for. Do an advanced search for this isn't what I voted for. They're all saying it. Guys like Sticks. And for some reason, they're all getting tons of likes, too. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. We all knew. He made it obvious. He said it all the time. You fell for it. You fell for it again. Evan Kilgore almost gets 100,000 likes. This is not what I voted for. Yes, it is. You just didn't want to see it. Oh, I didn't know Trump was a Zionist that wanted to go to war with Iran for the Zionist. Are you living under a rock? Yes, it is what you voted for. Oh, you didn't know Netanyahu and the Zionists were a package deal with Trump? Don't try to act surprised. Don't try to act like you were betrayed or duped. Here's Trump in 2011. Iran's quest for nuclear weapons is a major threat to our nation's national security interests. We can't allow Iran to go nuclear. Oh, I didn't know. Oh, I didn't vote for this. Trump, all over his campaign, he was saying this too. Vance also. Like he said, Israel should hit Iran's nuclear facilities. Yet another bold anti-war statement. He promised you no new wars. He promised you, he speaks out of both sides of his mouth, and you're dumb enough to believe it. And all the MAGA shills and grifters and agents convinced you of it.
When they asked him that question, they asked him, what do you think about Iran? Would you hit Iran? And he goes, as long as they don't hit the nuclear stuff. That's the thing you want to hit, right? I said, I think he's got that one wrong. Isn't that the one you're supposed to hit? I mean, it's the biggest risk we have. Nuclear weapons, the power of nuclear weapons, the power of weaponry. You know, I rebuilt the entire military, jets, everything. I built it, including nuclear.
All for Israel. All for Israel. Think of all the billions we've spent for Israel. Not just in the aid, but also building up our military to do these things for Israel. While our cities are homeless and dilapidated and falling apart, and our taxes are sky high, and where we've got mass inflation. Just imagine America could look like Dubai. We could have speed trains and big, huge, beautiful cities and low taxes and everything. But no, we have to make Israel great again. MAGA has always been MEGA. It's always been about making Israel great again.
But I got to know firsthand the power of that stuff, and I'll tell you what, we have to be totally prepared. We have to be absolutely prepared. But when they asked him that question, the answer should have been, hit the nuclear first and worry about the rest later. And that's what they should. If they're going to do it, they're going to do it, but we'll find out whatever their plans are. But great question. Thank you very much. Thanks.
See, they need, oh, this isn't what I voted for. What, were you like this throughout all the election?
Would you hit Iran? And he goes, as long as they don't.
And then somehow these idiots get 100,000 likes for being retarded. Here's the flag I made probably 2016, 2017. Trump, make Israel great again. The Zionist states of America. Trump posted an American flag after this attack, and a lot of people are changing it to Stars of David on it. And I tried to tell everybody. I tried to warn. You didn't listen. You blacklisted. You censored. You smeared. You gatekept. And here we are. Here we are. And don't say nobody that you weren't warned. White Stag.
_stag sent
Thanks,
$5 on Rumble. Can you make the coming boat in a crew neck, please?
I might do another boat design. And yeah, I won't do V-necks for the next one. I don't think you guys like them as much.
Sent $10. Yo, Adam, you called this out years ago before the influencers, before the headlines. Just supporting the show, keep spreading the truth.
Thank you. That is very true. Thank you, Kanye. Thanks, Zornder Edom.
Edom sent $5, Adam. We are swimming in so much Zionist insanity and info overload, both false and true. Feels like psych warfare. Was trying to recall the documentary about Putin's political strategist who endorsed keeping the masses totally confused with disinfo.
Oh, what is the name of that? Oh, Adam Curtis.
Bagsy sent $5 on Rumble. I feel like Adam Green sometimes.
I know. I think a lot of people are actually. In fact, maybe more than ever, there's awareness of the Zionist problem. Except, it's being led by Christians and Muslims that still believe in the God of Zion. So you're not really addressing the Zionist problem if you worship
Onyx
Yahweh.
Rock sent $5. My Catholic Gen X mom and dad still think Trump is fighting tooth and nail to save us. You and Spencer saved me from the orthobro ledge. And for that I can never be thankful enough.
Very happy to hear that I saved you from the orthobro cult. That Adam Curtis Russia propaganda documentary is called, what is it? Hyper... Come on, I just had it up again. Come on. Russia... Dude, I just had it up. The chat probably knows it. No, it wasn't Yuri Bezmenov. Hypernormalization. Thank you. That's right. Hypernormalization. It's an important one. Okay, here's again Michael Tracy. I mean, Trump's whole campaign, he signaled he was going to bomb Iran.
If I were president and a former president and a leading candidate, I'm the leading candidate by far to be the next president. And that leading candidate was under threat. If I was president and the candidate was under threat, any candidate, Republican or Democrat, and by the way, I want to thank the Democrats because they just increased funding for the Secret Service, who work very hard. They increased funding for the Secret Service, and nobody will believe this. It was a unanimous vote. Republicans, every single Republican, every single Democrat present voted in favor. That was the first unanimous vote we've seen in a long time, and that's to increase the funding of the Secret Service. So I thank everybody in Congress.
Here's the threat.
If I were the president, I would inform the threatening country, in this case Iran, that if you do anything to harm this person, we are going to blow your largest cities and the country itself to smithereens. We're going to blow it to smithereens. You can't do that.
Oh, I didn't vote for this. I didn't vote for this. I didn't see this coming. Well, you're an idiot then. You didn't get fooled by Trump. You're a fool. You didn't get duped by Trump. You're a dupe. And it's time the masses stopped listening to these dupes and these frauds and these shills and start paying attention to the people that have been getting it right for years.
Threats. There would be no more threats.
All right. Remember this one from Trump, too?
No ability. Our president will.
It's so funny. Oh, he was always attacking Obama. There was many tweets I dug up, and I got over 10,000 likes on an old tweet I dug up of him saying, Obama's going to get us in a war with Iran to stay in office. And he was attacking Obama all the time for that. He was also promoting the Jerome Corsi, who's connected to Israel deep, the fake birth certificate stuff about Obama. Trump helped amplify that as well.
Our president will start a war with Iran because he has absolutely no ability to negotiate. He's weak.
Obama did negotiate a nuclear agreement with Iran. He's the one that couldn't negotiate, didn't even want to negotiate. It was fake negotiations as cover, as an excuse that he tried to have peace. But it was just a fake. It was a facade. It was a charade. It was a ruse so that he could ultimately bomb them.
Weak and he's ineffective. Our president will start a war with Iran because he has absolutely no ability to negotiate. He's weak and he's ineffective.
Now, Charlie Kirk, 10 days ago, said, should the U.S. get involved in Israel's war against Iran? Almost 500,000 votes, 90% said no. And then now the ADL and Jewish groups are coming out with reports that, everything is just promoted by bots, Iranian and Russia bots, which I do think that's going on, but they're trying to downplay downplay the significance of how many people are actually against this. And now they're fighting, saying, oh, the base is against this. The base. What are you, why are you Trump's base when it was obvious that Trump was going to do this? You're a retard for thinking you're Trump's base. Trump's base is Miriam Adelson and APEC and Netanyahu and Likud and John Hagee and all the Christian Zionists. That's his base. That's who he reports to. It was wildly unpopular, but they did it anyway. And the Hodge twins sharing this is very typical. This really illustrates a MAGA grifter, okay? The Hodge twins now. Look at the difference between what they post on Facebook to their huge MAGA pro-Trump audience and then what they post on Twitter. On Facebook, the Hodge twins say, President Trump just unleashed American might, ordering a devastating attack on Iran's nuclear sites, crushing their dangerous ambitions. For 14 years, Trump's been crystal clear. Iran cannot have nukes. And he's followed through with a historic strike that's got the world in awe. A full payload of bombs rained down, and our brave warriors made it home safe. Eagle. Despite fake news from Axios claiming Trump might allow Iran's uranium enrichment, he shut that down. He shut it down, Goy. On True Social, we will not allow any enrichment of uranium. Democrats and their media pals are scrambling, crying foul, but patriots know Trump's keeping America and Israel safe.
Chris Johnston sent $10. Could you make a supercut of the Jesus hoax for the Baldy Man as Mongold to react to? Would be massive exposure for the message, even if he's got a different point of view. He's reasonable and fair. I watch and respect you both for your honesty.
Yeah, I've got Jesus hoax stuff already. That'd be great if he watched one. I'll tag me or send me a message or an email, and I'll send you the ones that we should all try to push. Or I'll just post them and I'll tag them, I guess. Okay, Iran's been chanting death to America. So that's for all the boomer Christian Zionists on Facebook. And then on Twitter, they said, we don't get near, this is like the same day, by the way. We don't get nearly as excited for the potential war as the bootlickers and the neocons do. We will always hold the line and speak up against war, whether we are right or wrong in the end. Look at the two-faced Hodge twins. They're twins, two faces. It's like, is one twin running the Facebook and the other twin running the Twitter? Are neither of them running either? You know what's funny is Donnie Darkened also did something similar where he's promoting Trump stuff on Facebook and then exposing Trump as the Antichrist on Twitter. And I believe he was even working with the Hodge twins. So this is bullshit. This is so two-faced. And the Hodge twins, since October 7th now, are bringing on all of the kosher Christian opposition to promote all the Christian controlled op talking points. Isn't that just disgraceful? 5,000 likes. Total grifter playing both sides. Can you believe that? So here they are on Fox talking about how this was all, Trump was engaged in a Jewish systemic deception campaign over the past week and longer, months, since he got into office. Before he got into office, this has been all a big deception. Yeah, Sam Hyde promoting Christ now too. That all the Christians went crazy over that South Korean who says he believes in, he's like, I have the highest IQ in the world and I believe in Jesus. And all the Christians are like, yay,
$5 on
clapping
Rumble.
like seals.
Shekels for the weekend shift. Thanks, man.
Thank you, Parisian. Yeah, all of the big MAGA grifters are shilling Jesus. Even I've noticed Joe Rogan is pumping Jesus a lot recently as well. They need you all believing in Rabbi Yeshua HaMashiach, the King of the Jews, for their end times plans to play out. So here's the deception.
Well, Brett, I think we have to look back at the news that broke earlier today, those 6 B-2 bombers that were heading west towards Guam. They would not have made it to Iran in time to take part in this strike. So that suggests to me that there was an additional B-2 package that perhaps flew eastward from Whiteman Air Force Base. Again, this was all part of the deception. There was a great deal of sort of misleading.
You know, it should have been obvious, too, because it was so telegraphed. Yesterday, all the information about the B-2 bombers, they're like, they just took off from here. They're refueling. That means they're carrying something heavy. They're going to get there on this day. They're on their way. And in reality, they were already there about to do the attack. So they gave Iran a false sense of security that they had a little bit of time. All of the Trump's turning on Netanyahu, that was part of this deception as well. Trump claiming 2 more, he's going to decide if they're going to attack in 2 weeks. That was the lie, too. Trump's whole thing with Witkoff, Jared Kushner's buddy, Witkoff, the Jewish billionaire, Witkoff, in these negotiations, and Alex Jones saying he wants peace, he's for real, he wants peace. It was all a ruse to lull Iran to sleep. Wage war by you're trusting the people that wage war by deception and rub it in your face.
Great deal of sort of misleading tidbits put out there to suggest that maybe President Trump had put off the decision and that this would happen 2 weeks from now. But as we knew, there were other indications, and we did not report earlier this week, even though we knew that Whiteman Air Force Base had put out a notice suggesting that the base was closed for so-called repairs until Monday, June 23rd. Now, if you look at the time frame of where we are right now, those B-2s would be home at Whiteman by the time that notice and that would be lifted on Monday, June 23rd. So that was put out a week ago, and so we should have had some clue.
Tucker called Witkoff. Yeah, Tucker and Alex Jones and Jimmy Dore, they're all promoting, Witkoff, so he wants peace. He wants peace. He's not working with Netanyahu. Netanyahu doesn't like him. This was all a lie. That you all got played. You all fell for it again. Just like you're all getting played about Trump. You all believed, you all had your faith in your savior Trump. You're wrong about him. You're wrong about Jesus too. Trump is filling the archetype of Jesus. You're all falling for your fake Jewish saviors.
That this might have been some indication of the time frame.
Okay, here's more on the deception.
Friday into Saturday morning, at midnight Friday into Saturday morning, a large B-2 strike package comprised of bombers launched from the continental United States. As part of a plan to maintain tactical surprise, part of the package proceeded to the west and into the Pacific as a decoy, a deception effort known only to an extremely small number of planners and key leaders here in Washington and in Tampa. The main strike package, comprised of 7 B-2 Spirit bombers, each with 2 crew members, proceeded quietly to the east with minimal communications. Throughout the 18-hour flight into the target area, the aircraft completed multiple in-flight refuelings. Once over land, the B-2s linked up with escort and support aircraft in a complex, tightly timed maneuver requiring exact synchronization across multiple platforms in a narrow piece of airspace, all done with minimal communications.
I wish they got video of this. I want to see the video of all this happening. Are we going to get video? High-def video? Why not? These bombers have like a whole fleet of, they have the refueling plane as well that has to refuel them in the air because they're carrying these bombs. They can carry 2 bombs. These B-2 can hold 2 of the big 30,000-pound bunker busters, so they can't carry a lot of fuel. They have to be refueled on the long trip over there. One of those couldn't fly on the side and film it or something. They don't have cameras on the bottom of these things. I want to see that.
This type of integration is exactly what our joint
Operation Midnight Hammer.
Than anyone else in the
Operation Hebrew Hammer.
world. At approximately 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time last night, and just prior to the strike package entering Iran, a U.S. submarine in the Central Command Area of Responsibility launched more than 24 Tomahawk land attack cruise missiles against key surface infrastructure targets at Esfahan. As the Operation Midnight Hammer strike package entered Iranian airspace, the U.S. employed several deception tactics, including decoys, as the fourth and fifth generation aircraft pushed out in front of the strike package at high altitude and high speed, sweeping in front of the package for enemy fighters and surface-to-air missile threats. The strike package was supported by U.S. Strategic Command, U.S. Transportation Command, U.S. Cyber Command, U.S. Space Command, U.S. Space Force, and U.S. European Command.
I guess that could be why Trump needed Space Force.
As the strike package approached Fordo and Natanz, the U.S. protection package employed high-speed suppression weapons to ensure safe passage of the strike package, with fighter assets employing preemptive suppressing fires against any potential Iranian surface-to-air threats. We are currently unaware of any shots fired at the U.S. strike package on the way in.
No defense, no Iranian defenses at all to stop any of this.
At approximately 6:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2:10 a.m. Iran time, the lead B-2 dropped 2 GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrator weapons on the first of several aim points at Fordo. As the president stated last night, the remaining bombers then hit their targets as well, with a total of 14 MOPs dropped against 2 nuclear target areas. All 3 Iranian nuclear infrastructure targets were struck between 6:40 p.m. and 7:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, that's about 2:10 in the morning local time in Iran, with the Tomahawk missiles being the last to strike at Esfahan to ensure we retain the element of surprise throughout the operation. Following weapons release, the Midnight Hammer strike package exited Iranian airspace and the package began its return home. We are unaware of any shots fired at the package on the way out.
I just saw Ted Cruz is tweeting saying the UN sides with Iran. So what does the UN say here? So this is the Secretary General of the UN says, I am gravely alarmed by the use of force by the U.S. against Iran today. This is a dangerous escalation in a region already on the edge and a direct threat to international peace and security. There is a growing risk that this conflict could rapidly get out of control with catastrophic consequences for civilians, the region, and the world. Yeah, they lied you. They used their deception and lied us into this acting. They're acting like, oh, it's not war. This is peace. He dropped bombs and called for peace. This isn't a war. They didn't. There's been no discussion about Russia and Iran and North Korea and other countries getting involved after this. There's been no discussion about how they're going to retaliate with shutting down the Strait of Hormuz and attacking all of our bases around there that have less protection than Israel does. But they probably want that to happen. That's why they didn't mention it. They want that to happen so we can go full in on regime change. Also, this is the Secretary General. Antonio Guterres of the UN says, I call on member states to de-escalate and to uphold the obligations under the UN Charter and other rules of international law. At this perilous hour, it is critical to avoid a spiral of chaos. There is no military solution. The only path forward is diplomacy. The only hope is peace. Do you think that Iran is going to try to do any more diplomacy with Israel and Trump after how they got played and lied to all along? How they already tried diplomacy and then Trump got in and ripped up the Iran deal, and then Trump bullshitted about more negotiations. Yeah, I'm sure they're going to come to the table in good faith with these pathological lying Zionists.
Iran's fighters did not.
Yeah, the markets are going to collapse. The gas price is going to rise. Crypto's going down. We're going to see inflation. The cost of everything's going to go up. And they're acting like, oh, it's going to be over in 2 weeks. Mission accomplished. Like, how long? Like, Iran is way more of a competitor than Iraq was. And look how long that dragged out.
Fly, and it appears that Iran's surface-to-air missile systems did not see us. Throughout the mission, we retained the element of surprise. In total, U.S. forces employed approximately 75 precision-guided weapons during this operation. This included, as the president stated last night, 14 30,000-pound GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrators, marking the first ever operational use of this weapon. I know that battle damage is of great interest. Final battle damage will take some time, but initial battle damage assessments indicate that all 3 sites sustained extremely severe damage and destruction.
So extremely severe damage. We're hearing that the main big facility that was the deepest underground only had the entrance damaged, and that they were reinforcing it with a bunch of dirt beforehand.
More than 125 U.S. aircraft participated in this mission, including B-2 stealth bombers, multiple flights of 4th and 5th generation fighters, dozens and dozens of air refueling tankers, a guided missile submarine.
So billions of dollars. This is a billions of dollars operation for Israel to get us into this war.
And a full array of intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance aircraft.
And they all tax us, and if we don't pay our taxes, they put us in prison.
There's hundreds of maintenance and operational professionals. As the Secretary said, this was the largest B-2 operational strike in U.S. history and the second longest B-2 mission ever flown, exceeded only by those in the days following 9/11.
Now, this is all from Hegseth's press conference this morning. Here, like DC Drano, he's a huge Zionist shill. Millions of followers. He was involved with the White House Epstein binder charade. He says Trump didn't declare war. He dropped some bombs, then called for peace. They think you're retarded. They think you're stupid. Oh, and we're going to show the talking points have gone out about this. We're going to show you all of the Zog, MAGA, MEGA agents with their talking points out here. Okay, here's Hegseth.
Not be more proud of almost any American if you had an opportunity to watch it in real time. And I think Tehran is certainly calculating the reality that planes flew from the middle of America in Missouri overnight, completely undetected over 3 of their most highly sensitive sites, and we were able to destroy nuclear capabilities. And our boys in those bombers are on their way home right now. We believe that'll have a clear psychological impact on how they view the future, and we certainly hope they take the path of negotiated peace. But I could not be more proud.
I'm sure they're just totally ready for peace now. Clint Russell, the Tim Pool, Luke Radowski, libertarian guy that shilled for Trump, even though he should have known better, says, I didn't vote for Netanyahu, but he somehow ended up my president. Yeah, it wasn't obvious that it was a package deal with Netanyahu and Trump. Oh, you didn't know that he was buddies with Netanyahu, huh? Okay, what are you, stupid? You forgot when he gave Netanyahu the key to the country? You forgot all of them gloating each other and talking about how they're greatest allies and best of friends and he's going to be the greatest president for Israel ever? Stop playing dumb, and he still gets 10,000 likes on this shit. Well, we're so cooked with all the stupid people out there that fall for these frauds. Derek Bros called him out too. But you voted for the guy who was backed by Zionists, Bilderberg members, World Economic Forum members, and technocrats. And now they're playing dumb. Now they're trying to wash their hands of how they got everybody on board with Trump. Now Medvedev of Russia says, what have the Americans accomplished with their nighttime strikes on 3 nuclear sites in Iran? 1, critical infrastructure of the nuclear fuel cycle appears to have been unaffected.
You don't send $5. This entire spiel is literally crying out in pain while striking. I always start friendships by punching someone in the face first.
Yeah. Yeah, you always like attack somebody and then call for peace right after, right? That works. Nothing shady about that. Who knows the real numbers? They could be all bots. That's true. It could be bots. Okay, so critical infrastructure of the fuel cycle appears to have been unaffected or sustained only minor damage. So we didn't actually take out their facilities. Now we're even more at risk of a threat. Other countries are talking about giving them weapons now. They still could even build it themselves.
Lisa Renisen sent $5, sending
Thank you,
much
Lisa.
thanks and appreciation.
Thank you,
truth
Lisa.
is
You're the
on their
best.
side.
It is. It is. The track record speaks for itself. He says the enrichment of nuclear material, and now we can say it outright, the future production of nuclear weapons will continue. Now they can say it outright. Oh, we're so much safer now. Mission accomplished, guys. Everybody can go home. We're all safe now. Trump brought us peace. A number of countries are ready to directly supply Iran with their own nuclear warheads. That's where we're at now. Great. Great job, Trump. Thanks, Jews. I feel so safe now. Gog and Magog, commencing according to plan. War with Iran, Russia, and China versus the West, where the West is the ultimate target here to be destroyed. Edom is the ultimate target here. Yeah, Tim Pool, Luke Radowski, Liberty Lockdown, Alex Jones, Ian Carroll, all these people said, don't believe your lying eyes. Trump's not going to be a hardcore Zionist. He's going to bring us peace. He's better than Kamala. Now he's got us in World War III. Medvedev is the deputy chair of the Security Council for Russia, by the way. Yeah, the proliferation will go into overdrive now. Thanks. Thanks. Who could have seen this coming? We could have had a brat summer with Kamala, right? Kamala wouldn't have, I don't think she would have sent all these bombers over there to attack their sites. Trump, this is why I knew Trump was getting back in, because he didn't get the war with Iran in the first term. Oh, and you believe me, I'm going to go through all my old videos and find all the times I predicted this was going to happen. To the T. So, Putin on Iran. They fight alone. Russia distanced itself as Iran faces fire. When was this? This was 2 days ago. Now they're claiming we're going to help them build the bomb. And remember the Dugan clip? The see-through-it-all Dugan clip? He goes, we need to arm every country and point the nukes against the West. We need to take down the Antichrist, satanic West. That's the Edom Kabbalah narrative. Oh, and Alex Jones and all the shills in our media are all saying, oh, they're Nazis secretly run everything. There's Nazis everywhere. That's the anti-Edom narrative. Right, yeah. Kamala wasn't going to be, I said this over and over again, who better than Trump to get America on board, not only to do this attack for Israel, but to get everybody on board for the war. If it was Kamala doing it, there'd be so much pushback from the right wing, besides the ultra-Zionists. But with Trump doing it, they're all going along with it. Need More Amalek says, Kamala wouldn't have been able to mobilize the right wing to cope and support it. We could have had all the right wing blaming a cackling fake black woman with a Jewish husband, but now we get the cope and the Trump and the 4D chess, like we're going to show you Alex Jones is spinning, doing his usual Zio spin like I said he would. So I think this is a lie too, because it's all the Russian shills that were promoting these deceptions. They're in on this. They're working with Israel to get us dragged into this war so the West gets destroyed. They're in on this. Putin is working with Netanyahu and Trump and Chabad Lubavitch that connects them all. So they were pretending not to help, but now they're helping. They offered help with the air defense systems. They didn't show much interest. Oh, I'm sure they didn't. They have a strategic partnership, but there are no articles related to defense. Our Iranian friends, they do not ask about this. There is nothing to discuss. I can just tell he's bullshitting right there. He's fronting. Putin be fronting. He's allied with Israel more than Iran, I'll tell you that, though. Israel, Putin, and Netanyahu, and Trump are all colluding against the West in Edom. That's what's happening. They may double-cross Russia, too. Putin will double-cross his own people. Can I get an update on this? The pro-peace ticket. That's how they sold you. That's the false bill of goods they sold you. And they had the plan all along that they were going to bomb Iran. They had this plan with Trump since 2015 at the latest. The pro-peace ticket. Vote Trump and Vance. And you idiots bought it. And I told you, Trump was going to promise to be the big peacemaker. He was going to promise to keep us out of World War III. He promised to end the war in Ukraine and Russia on day one with one phone call. He promised to be the savior, and he's going to be the one that's going to bring us all down.
We've got in. And the second thing is, Kristen, I certainly empathize with Americans who are exhausted after 25 years of foreign entanglements in the Middle East. I understand the concern, but
David Icke was right. Yep.
difference is that back then we had dumb presidents, and now we have a president who actually knows how to accomplish America's national security objectives. So this is not going to be some long drawn out thing. We've got in, we've done the job of setting their nuclear program back. We're going to now work to permanently dismantle that nuclear program over the coming years.
Oh, so there's more to come. See, they haven't finished the job. They only set it back. There's more to come. They say this isn't going to be a long engagement. Did you hear him? Did you listen closely?
Program back. We're going to now work to permanently dismantle that nuclear program over the coming years. And
so how many more billions? How many more B-2s? How many more huge bombs? How many more fleets? How much more is this going to cost? This is Iraq all over again. It's going to be worse than Iraq. Way worse. It's different this time. Trust me, bro. Hey, Goyam, I know that Iraq was a disaster, but they're all over Fox News like, this isn't the same as Iraq. Forget about that. It's going to be different this time because Trump's in charge. You voted for Trump. You have faith in Trump, right? You trust Trump. Yeah, before Iraq, we were only in like I don't even know, 10 trillion in debt. Now we're 40 trillion in debt. This is really going to bankrupt us and put us under. And then all the big banks are going to pull the rug and America's financial system is going to collapse. And we're going to be, if we're not nuked off the earth, we're going to be a third world slum with diversity and hatred of white people and blaming and anti-Semitism laws.
And that is what the president has set out to do. Simple. And the second thing is, Kristen, I certainly
trust the plan. Do you guys hear the plan?
Air Force pilots who.
So he just told you they only set back their Iran's program, which they didn't. Now they've sped it up actually. Now Iran has the justification, and other countries are going to give it to them. They're saying now. He goes, oh, in the coming years, we're going to do even more to do it, so it's not over. But then he goes, are we at war with Iran? And they just straight lie to your face and say, no, we're not at war. We're just at war with their nuclear program. Dude, They must think Americans are so gullible and stupid and will believe anything. No, we're not at war with them, just with all their military.
Question, Mr. Vice President, is the United States now at war with Iran?
No, Kristen, we're not at war with Iran. We're at war with Iran's nuclear program. And let me just say, Kristen, that we're incredibly grateful and proud of the...
That's the one-liner that's going to go down in history. Can you believe that? The chat says just the tip. Crazy Fox. Yeah, this is like just the tip. Don't worry, baby, just the tip. Next thing you know, you're pregnant with triplets. You're pregnant with a triplets war with Iran, Russia, and China. Oh, we're going to get to the Tulsi deception, too. The Tulsi, oh, if only there were signs with Tulsi. If only me and others were warning everybody about Tulsi Gabbard over and over again. And all you suckers fell for the lies. He's at war with his eyeshadow. Listen to this, dude.
Question, Mr. Vice President, is the United States now at war with Iran?
No, Kristen, we're not at war with Iran. We're at war with Iran's nuclear program. And let me just say, Kristen, that we're incredibly grateful and proud of the American Air Force pilots who did an incredible job last night.
Oh, America, what, you don't support the troops? What are you, anti-Semitic? You don't support the troops and our greatest ally? What, do you hate Jews? What, are you obsessed with Jews? That's what we're going to hear. What a way to spin it, huh? Yeah, just the nuclear tip. Right. Unbelievable. Palantir frontman fraud. Matt Gaetz. Oh, you thought Matt Gaetz was based, huh? Thanks, Garrett.
Garrett sent $5 in the coming years. Vance. Years? Plural? Yeah, not like Iraq at all.
Yeah, they're like a concise and total obliteration and victory. That's what Trump said in his speech. And then now it comes out, oh, you read, now for the small print, Vance says, oh, they only set them back, and this is going to go on for years. Years more of wars, another war for Israel. Many tens of billions of our tax dollars going for Israel to make Israel great again, while America slides deeper and deeper into destruction. Gates says President Trump basically wants this to be like the Soleimani strike. One and done. No regime change war. Trump the peacemaker. Is this a fucking joke? Is he trolling here? Is he trolling? 44,000 likes? So full of shit. So full of shit.
You sit on a throne of lies.
Dude, the Zionists are lying us into they're lying us into World War III. And for years, trying to sound the alarm about all these rabbis and these Christian Zionists fantasizing with hard-ons, with total kosher erections, circumcised erections for America to get in this war, this end times war. And now it's here. You like that? Circumcised erection.
And the notion that
here's Massey on CNN.
And the notion that this isn't an act of war, I find ludicrous. This is a hot war. There are two nations, Israel and Iran, trading volleys of missiles every night, every day, and we're co-belligerent now in this war.
I mean, the vice president went on to say that they needed to act now because there was a narrow window, and if they waited, it could have been too late. And they needed to stop the proliferation of weapons of mass destruction. Do you not share that concern?
No, I don't share that concern. But I have another concern, and that is that 3 bombings to neutralize Iran may turn out to be the 2025 version of 2 weeks to slow the spread.
I said that.
This could turn
Did I not say that over and over again last night?
Into a protracted, prolonged engagement, and I'm here to represent the base of the MAGA party that got Trump elected. Most of us were tired of the wars in the Middle East and Eastern Europe, and we were promised that we wouldn't be engaging in another one. Yet here we see this happening, and there's you know, the president and the administration say, oh, we're done. We've had our little bombing and now this is over. But what happens if this drags on between Israel and Tel Aviv gets pummeled by Iran? Is President Trump going to say we're going to sit by and not do anything in that instance? I'm leery of this given everything that's happened before.
Oh, thanks for stating the obvious. You're a little leery about it, huh? This is the vibes we're getting. Mission accomplished. Remember Bush and their mission accomplished celebration? It was all a fraud. It was all a lie. Trump got into office promising you that he was going to be the peace candidate. No more foreign entanglements. No more wars in the Middle East. Trashing Bush and saying Iraq was a mistake. Never Netanyahu, though. Trashing Bush for Iraq, but then becoming BFFs with Netanyahu. That wasn't a sign. I mean, come on. This meme is perfect execution. It really is. Levin says, Zionist Levin says, it's not World War III.
Shut up. The Israelis didn't. Look what Trump just did. Look what he did. Guess what? There wasn't a regional war, and there's not going to be a regional war. There's not World War.
Famous last words. Let's make sure to save this one. There's not going to be a regional war. This won't escalate.
War III. There was not going to be World War III. The Israelis didn't drag us into it. I want the anti-Semites. Sit down and shut up.
Yeah, you don't want to fight wars for Israel? Sit down and shut up, you anti-Semites. There's not going to be a bigger war. This is going to age so bad. Mark Levin, ultra-Zionist Jewish Mark Levin.
Cool it with the anti-Semitic remarks.
This is outrageous. And no, Israel dragged America into this war, but they didn't drag Trump. Trump marched in right along with them. They didn't even have to stage a false flag. They had Zion Dawn. They had their Trojan horse.
There wasn't a regional war, and there's not going to be a regional war. There's not World War III. There was not going to be World War III. The Israelis didn't drag us into it. I want the anti-Semites. Sit down and shut up. The Israelis didn't drag us into this. The Israelis are defending themselves. We're defending ourselves.
We're just defending ourselves. That's been the Zionist line forever. They crowd in pain as they strike you. Preemptive attacks. We're just defending ourselves.
What took place now? What's the reaction of the Democrats? Impeach Trump. These are sick people. Sick. You know why? Because their guy Clinton couldn't do it. Obama couldn't do it. Biden couldn't do anything. If they had their way, look what Trump just did.
He talks like a bag, too.
Yeah, Trump, our Prince of Peace. Like the Israel Heritage Foundation awarded him with the Menorah Award, the Prince of Peace. This was just a few months after. There's the Chabadnik right next to him, too, by the way. The Messianic Isaiah 9, the Prince of Peace Award. This was months after they gave him the Torah Crown Award, like he's Moshiach. Yeah, there's our peace guy. The peace candidate that's going to get us in World War III, where we get destroyed. And he gets scapegoated, and the Christians get scapegoated. And then they'll say, oh, you're just an anti-Semite. The Zionists didn't push for this war. It's all the who's who of Zionists exclusively are pushing for this war.
Those countries.
Iran and North Korea are cooperating on nuclear and missile development. Do you think there is a possibility that Iran, North Korea, and the other forces, such as China, will join forces to retaliate?
God, we can't even get any American journalists to ask this question before we did the bombing. This should have been all anybody was talking about. Is this going to escalate into war with Iran, Russia, and China? And they're like, no, it's just a bomb, and then it's over with. We won already. Mission accomplished. 2 weeks and one and done. It's over. It takes the China woman to ask the $1 million question, the $1 trillion question. Geez, guys, We are nowhere near the goal today at all. Where are the super chats? Where are the power chats? We got over 800 people watching. You guys are all so quiet this morning. You got nothing to say? Maybe everybody's pinching their pockets because pinching their pennies, pinching their shekels because the markets have crashed. Yeah. Maybe you should just fill up the gas tanks and store some food and start digging a bunker or something. And I get it, I guess.
Against the United States.
Well, unfortunately, because of the policies under the previous administration, we drove those countries together, and ultimately.
But you're not driving them together. You're not doing anything to drive them together. Yeah, it's Obama and Biden's fault.
That creates a challenging environment. For this particular operation, the focus is on Iran and Iranian nuclear capabilities. That's our focus here, is to not just say that they can't have, but President Trump has said from over 20 years, frankly, Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. And ultimately, he decided this is the moment, given their stonewalling, when direct military action had to be taken to prevent that from happening.
Iran and North Korea are cooperating.
Yeah. White Falcon says, I can't believe this alcoholic wife-beating clown is still in power. That's the least of the problems. He's got a Jesus Crusade, Yeshua tattoo, a Jerusalem cross. He's photographed with Chaim Richman, the supremacist rabbi of the Temple Institute, in front of the Dome of the Rock. And he's in Israel on video saying he wants to help rebuild the temple. And this is who just attacked Iran and is in charge of our military.
Why would Iran agree to any peace deal if the United States has already pulled out of one that they had, as President Trump did in 2018, and now has launched?
He's a rapist too. Hegseth's a rapist.
Surprise attacks.
That's right.
Israel and the United States have done so. There is such a massive trust deficit there. How could you possibly come to
but the trust deficit started with Iran.
I know.
Well, the trust deficit, the ones that shouldn't be trusted are the Iranians, because they're the ones that sponsor terrorism. Did they forewarn us before they blew up the embassy in Lebanon and killed over 200 American servicemen? Did they forewarn us before they built IEDs?
1982, and I don't know that there's any proof Iran was even involved with that. It's another country.
Blew the legs and arms off of American servicemen in Iraq. I mean, these are the people that are doing this forever. They're the ones that no one should trust. They're the ones that have lied about their nuclear program.
But
they're the ones that have hidden things from the international.
If they've lied about it, then why don't they already have nukes? Little Adelson puppet. Remember in 2015 when Trump tweeted that he's a little puppet of Sheldon Adelson? And then Trump took the Adelson money and then appoints him to Secretary of State. He just repeats Netanyahu's bullshit. That's right, White Falcon.
Organisms.
But that sounds like we're headed towards regime change, where the desire to get these people out of power.
Yeah, you guys have lied about everything, and now you're saying they're the ones that can't be trusted.
Are you?
No, a serious foreign policy is one that's focused on identifying what our national interest is. You don't have to like the regime. There are a lot of regimes around the world that we don't like, okay? But in this particular case, what we are focused on is not the changing of the regime. Okay, that's up to the Iranian people if they want to do that, but that's not what we're focused on. Our national interest is about one thing, and that is Iran not getting anywhere near the capability to weaponize and have nuclear weapons. They're not going to get anywhere near that capability. The president has made that clear from day one. Our preference for solving that problem, that very specific problem, is through diplomacy. We've said that. We've given it every opportunity. They played games. They tried delay tactics. They're trying delay tactics now on the Europeans.
Yeah, you're right, conspiracy truther. They've been saying this for 30 years, that they're 2 weeks away from a nuke. And we're supposed to believe the lies that they're a threat to us in America? That we're the threat? Israel's got their illegal nuclear program. There we go, Garrett.
$20.
Thank
Come
you.
on, everybody, don't be shekel pinching Jews.
I was about to say I'm going to shut it down. Like I'm an hour and 20 minutes in and only got $60, given everything that's unfolded. Like I got a ton more tabs to go through, but I'll just close it down. I'm doing streams every single day. There's 150 on Odysee and 800 people watching. If a few more of you just chipped in 5 or 10 every show, or signed up on Subscribestar for 5 or 10 a month, I wouldn't have to worry about this. I wouldn't have Miss No More News breathing down my neck, telling me to stop doing this and do something else.
The snapback provisions.
I've only been banned from PayPal and Patreon. There's another one.
Bullshit sent $20. What does Israel hope to accomplish by attacking Iran? If it's regime change, what would Israel puppet regime allow Israel to do that they can't do now? Or is their only goal to hasten the coming of Moshiach and end of days?
It's all bullshit and lies to get us in World War III. That's what it's all about. Everything they're saying is a lie.
Rumble. Just keep talking.
I am talking. I'll keep going. But it's just, oh, there we go. Now, see, this is what I have to do. I have to scold you guys. I have to scold you. I wish you guys could just support without having to scold. I mean, years of doing this, being so vindicated, doing streams every day, banned from YouTube, Facebook, PayPal, Patreon, Coinbase, DLive, Trovo.
Malagites Unite sent $10 on Rumble. I feel like Adam Green sometimes.
Squarespace.
I feel like I'm taking crazy
Aspera _Heems _Symphonia sent $10. Thanks for your efforts.
You're
Much
making
love
me
to
feel
you and all
better.
the Green Pill crew.
You're making me feel better. I just lost like 90% of my income when Odysee got debanked from Stripe a couple months ago. And every time they hit me like this, I'd never build it back up to where it was before.
And you talk about the JCPOA, that was a crazy deal.
When did the president?
Crazy deal. What was so crazy about it? They were allowing the ICC inspectors, which Israel won't do. Best stream on the internet.
Obsolescence sent $5 on Rumble. Best stream on the internet.
It's getting so hot in here. I need a AC fund. I need to get a room unit AC or something. I know. If you don't have the money, don't donate. But if you do, 5 or 10 every show can go a long way. You spend that much on a cheeseburger. Yeah, I'm sweating over here for you guys putting out this stuff. It is hot today. John Bolton's very happy
to attack Iran's nuclear.
For being here. Were you surprised that President Trump took such decisive action?
Well, let me say this unequivocally.
Thank you, Habs.
Sent $10. I'll chip another 10 in, but I feel crazy too, man. Where's the light at the end of the tunnel?
I don't know. I wish I could tell you. Maybe if I sold a bunch of hopium and false hope and not so black pilling, maybe that would be a better, that would help the fundraising a little bit. But I don't know. It's not looking good. It's not looking. We know how this story ends. I've been saying over and again. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope Trump doesn't win.
Zionist
Bombs away.
$5 on Rumble.
Cuck.
Bombs away.
You know, I wish I wasn't right so much.
Well, let me say this unequivocally. I think President Trump made the right decision for America to attack Iran's nuclear weapons program. And I think...
Thank you, White Falcon. Even White Falcon's here.
$10 on Rumble. If people have been following you long enough, they would know that you are pretty much a prophet. You have connected the dots from doing deep dives into the rabbi hole. At White Falcon 3.
I don't feel like a prophet, though. I've been a lot right, and I appreciate you saying that, but like it seems so obvious to me. Like you'd have to be blind and dumb to not get it. Maybe it's just because like what I've been focusing on and what I've seen and what I know, it's obvious, but apparently it's not obvious to everybody else. Everybody else just keeps falling for the dumb shit. But thank you, I appreciate that.
We're on the verge of potentially seeing regime change in Iran as part of that. I think this is a huge change in the Middle East. It was a decisive action. It was the right thing to do. I thought somebody should do it for a long time. But better late than never.
Nefarious Bullshit sent $5. If the goal is World War III, then what do they hope to accomplish with World War III? Prophecy fulfillment or something more earthly like power over territory?
Well, the prophecy fulfillment is earthly power. It's Israel ruling the world from Jerusalem after the West is destroyed.
Rumble. No drafting until we can be assured we'll be shoulder to shoulder with John Bolton/Trump's military-aged kids.
That ain't
Even
happening.
now Netanyahu's son is in California, lol.
Israel pushed us into the war in Iraq and then didn't even join the coalition against Iraq. You think it's going to be different this time? Esau lives by the sword and serves his brother Jacob. Will be the foot soldiers out there dying.
Better late than never.
Better late than ever. Well, John Bolton's happy. I guess at least all the ultra Zionists. He's another Adelson crony, by the way. At least somebody's happy.
You're crazy. You're crazy.
Thank you, Wheelgun.
At Wheelgun.
Hey, never heard from Wheelgun before, I don't think. Good to hear from you, buddy. General commentary.
$5. Sorry, Adam. White and niggers is broke and I hate using Rumble.
I know,
is
me
Odysee
too.
Ever getting fixed?
Odysee did say that a few days ago that they're working on some new payment processor. So hopefully the subscriptions will reactivate and hopefully we can get the Odysee back up and going. Hopefully I can get Odysee connected to the Power Chat too so it can read it on screen when you guys support over there. Okay, here's Pompeo also. Ultra Zionist Pompeo. Rapture ready, Christian Zionist fanatic, end times cultist, Pompeo, Ozempic Pompeo. Carlin with the big dono.
Rumble. Keep talking. I like watching you take a victory lap after being totally vindicated. Come on my stream sometime and explain to my audience how effed we are.
Oh, I thought you'd never ask. Thank you so much, Carlin. I'd love to. Carlin had a great show with me on the communist revolutions last week as well. And she's been very vindicated as of recently as well. And I've seen she's growing too. So thank you, Carlin. You're awesome. Appreciate you, girl. All right, let's hear Pompeo.
So this was important not only for, and you were asking earlier, what do the Gulf Arab states think this morning?
Kino 556 sent $5 on Rumble. You should sell a Adam Green was right t-shirt.
I don't think so. I think that's a little tacky, honestly. I wouldn't even want to wear that shirt. But thanks for mentioning the shirts. That is another way to support if you want to get something in return and help spread the message, help spread the green pill. There's the No More News Viking Owl shirt, high quality Bella canvas. These are V-necks, good for summer. And the No More News Viking longboat. Over the stormy seas, the stormy Nordic seas. Thank you, Anonymous. Those are available at knowmorenews.org. Lucas Gage was wrong all along, shirt. Me and Lucas made up, okay? We buried the hatchet, so that's funny, though.
And you were asking earlier, what do the Gulf Arab states think this morning? I am confident that they too are safer. So this was important not only for Israel and for the Gulf Arab states, but to keep the United States of America safe as well. President Trump, I served with him for 4 years. For a decade now, he's been very clear. They're not going to get a nuclear weapon in Iran. And this is just a further manifestation of his commitment to that over a long period of time. And last night, he executed a mission that was righteous and decent and important.
Righteous. There's the word again, righteous. The talking point has gone out. That was what Netanyahu said. Righteous. He's a righteous Gentile, a.k.a. he's a Noahide. Shabbos Goy Noahide Trump. Zion Don. Making Israel great again. Oh, and I've only been selling these shirts since like 2017 with the Star of David eyes. They're limited edition, so if you didn't get them recently, I don't know. Given everything that's transpired, I might have to come out with another color. Maybe a red or something. I like the red shirt.
And will keep us all safer. Mr. And you were asking earlier, what do the Gulf...
All right. So Pompeo, Netanyahu, Bolton. Now they're warning about
Kino 556 sent $5
sleeper cells.
Rumble. Netanyahu is playing 4D chess with Trump.
Yeah, that's what I've said all along. Trump's not playing 4D chess against Israel, saving Israel for last. Israel and Trump are playing 5D chess against you. And you're the mark. And you're the sheep. And you're being led to the slaughter. Trump is the messianic figure, your savior, that's going to destroy you. Here, I just saw a good one. Who shared that? Oh, it's not coming up, actually. Okay, let's play this.
They have to. You know, I've been talking about this risk for 4 years. It's probably even slightly heightened now. There's no doubt the Iranian regime has tried to put active agents on the ground in Europe.
John's here. John's always supporting.
See through it all.
Thank you,
You
John.
guys did an amazing job trying to prevent this apocalypse from happening. At this stage, only massive protests, public fury and unrest could force them to back down. Do not despair. It's not over until it's over.
You know, sadly, I am despair. I fall into despair. I have for a long time, and I don't know if anybody can blame me, but mass protests, you mean like on all the college campuses? What did that stop? Did that save Gaza? We could I just saw this last weekend. There was the biggest protest across the country ever against Trump. The No Kings protest. You think that's going to stop him? The time to stop him was before the election, when all the frauds that should have known better told you Trump's going to save us. Trump's the better option. And now we're getting the chickens are coming home to roost.
Europe and Brussels and Paris and London, and indeed here in the United States. And you're absolutely right. We've had a wide open border. We know that at least a couple of hundred folks who were
wide open border, the sleeper attacks, sleeper cells attacks are coming. The terrorist backlash is about to happen. Well, then maybe preemptively attacking them and supporting everything Israel does and their slaughter and their takeover of the Middle East wasn't the greatest idea. Who's going to get attacked? Who's going to suffer? The American people are going to suffer because of all of this.
Webcomic sent $5 on Rumble. Support Adam. We need your book, buddy.
I know. The book's gone on the back burner since this World War III stuff broke up. I've been doing way more streams. And remember, I got 2 young daughters. The book's almost done. I am going to hammer it out. But does anybody even want to hear about the Jesus deception right now? Like, there's bigger fish to fry at the immediate moment. That's kind of what it feels like. But it is coming, and it is going to be awesome.
Already on the American terror-designated watch list who came across the border during the Biden administration. So that risk is not zero. It could be that that'll be a method by which the Iranians will choose to try and take vengeance and respond and to deter the United States. I'm counting on our FBI and local law enforcement to help keep all of us safe, including those who have been threatened directly by the regime itself.
Kino 556 sent $5 on Rumble. If World War III breaks out and at the end Israel are the only one with nukes, then we're all Palestinians.
Oh yeah, what they have planned for us is way worse what they've done to the Palestinians. If they have their way, what they've said about Edom, and what is the ultimate game? The West and Edom and America and Europe are the ultimate target. Payback for destroying the temple, the Roman Empire destroying the temple. Payback for the exile of Edom and the persecution of Jews, blaming them for killing Jesus. That's who they ultimately have their sights on. And just like they lied to the Iranians and they lied to the world about negotiating and wanting peace in 2 more weeks, they're lying about being our greatest ally and defending the West and all of this shit, obviously. But yeah, that's the ultimate goal. For the world to destroy each other, mutually assured destruction, the West and the East, the Christians and the Muslims, the 2 spin-off religions from Judaism to destroy each other, and Israel emerges from the flames more powerful than ever for their messianic age and their 3rd temple and their Mark of the Beast technocracy control system and one world religion, all the Noahides remaining worshiping their God and his chosen people.
But more importantly than that, I think the Iranians' calculus has to be very careful here. They have to understand that while we spared the political leadership and energy infrastructure targets last night, there's no guarantee that will continue if they come after an American, whether that's one of our soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines abroad, or someone here in the United States.
Yeah, and
Okay, so, they're going to attack us now. Great. Maybe you shouldn't have waged war against them and started the war. Now we're all at risk. Here's Massey on the news exposing APEC.
RFK, what he promised us was we would put America first. And I think
so hot.
There are still voices in this administration. You've still got J.D. Vance. You've still got Tulsi Gabbard. You still RFK Jr. You still got calmer heads.
What
could prevail?
They were not.
They're all ultra Zionist. Okay, Massey. All right, now I think Massey's in on this too. Massey's the controlled op. telling us that RFK and Tulsi and who else? JD Vance. Yeah, they're going to save us. I'm sure they're going to restrain Trump.
Clearly.
Well, somebody was persuasive. AIPAC is very persuasive. For instance, the Israeli lobby in Congress. If you look at my colleagues' feeds now, they all look the same. They're all tweeting the same message that we've got to support Israel and we've got to do this. What he promised us was we would put America.
Now here's the flip-flop of Tulsi Gabbard. And remember, everybody was sharing the other day her testimony to Congress where she said Iran wasn't trying to build a nuke. And then Trump was like, well, she's wrong in our intelligence. Israel tells me they are, so we're going to do it anyway. So look at her flip-flop. Look at this propaganda. And guys, there were signs. This is her with Adelson and Shmuley Boteach. And she was working with the World Economic Forum at one point as well. And then when she got out of Congress, she got hired at Fox News and started shilling anti-Iran Zionist propaganda. This is what she said in 2019. I can't believe she still has this up. Look at this.
Haley and other President Trump says that he doesn't want war with Iran, but that's exactly what he wants. Because that's exactly what Saudi Arabia, Netanyahu, Al-Qaeda, Bolton, Haley, and other neocons and neolibs want. That's what he puts first, not America.
Tulsi 2020. She was selling T-shirts that said no war with Iran. And now she gets appointed by Trump, and she's on board. How about that? Oh, you guys fell for Tulsi? Guess who was never on Team Tulsi? Me. I had friends that were shilling Tulsi, and I said, guys, look at this. Look at this. It's not going to work. Trump says he doesn't want war with Iran, but that's exactly what he wants because of Netanyahu and all the neocons, and now she's on board with it all. Oh, you fell for it again, Award. Eric Jackman, the Jackman brothers, they were huge. Ian Carroll, all these big Maha, RFK, Tulsi shills, all the signs were there, and you guys refused to listen.
President Trump says that he doesn't want war with Iran, but that's exactly what he wants.
And now she's for it. Oh, what changed? I wonder. Oh, there's Miriam Adelson. I wonder what changed, guys. Michael Tracy says Gabbard and RFK will go down as two of the most effective and shameless, duplicitous political propagandists of all time. Oh, yeah, they were on the campaign trail for Trump saying he won't get us in war with Iran. He's the peace candidate. He'll save us from World War III. Yeah, she did the Masonic triangle pose as well. Naughty girl.
A vote for Donald Trump is a vote for a man who wants to end wars, not start them, and who has demonstrated already that he has the courage and strength to stand up and fight for peace.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
If only you were warned, Tulsi shills. Man, that's so ridiculous.
A vote for Donald Trump is a vote for a man who wants to end wars, not start them.
And what makes me think Putin is in on this, and Russia, Netanyahu, and Trump, and the cabal, the Chabad cabal, Kabbalists are all in on this together, is because McGregor said the same thing. Jackson Hinkle and all of these other shills, these Putin shills, all promoted Trump in this way. Don't believe your lying eyes. He's playing 4D chess on the Zionists. He's the peace candidate.
A vote for Donald Trump is a vote for a man who wants to end wars, not start them, and who has demonstrated already that he has the courage and strength to stand up and fight for peace. History will look back on us at this moment for the choice that we make. Did we choose war or peace?
Oh.
Did we choose poverty or prosperity?
Did we choose censorship or freedom?
Wow.
President Trump called me 3 hours after his shooting. And he said, would I come and sit down with him? And he said to me during that meeting, he said, there are some things that we can agree on and some we disagree on, but the landscapes on which we agree are so much larger. He said, I want to end the wars.
History will look back upon this. Oh, yes, it will.
End this surveillance and censorship.
Puts in Palantir for the massive database. Oh, man. Oh, the gullible goy fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker.
I want to protect the Constitution. I want to protect freedom of speech.
He gets in, and when it's the plague of anti-Semitism, we must do everything we can to end the anti-Semitism.
Don't you think that we deserve a president who's going to end the warfare state and rebuild the middle class?
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry, middle class. Taxes are up. Gas is up. All the inflation is up thanks to this war. All the billions to Israel for more wars. Oh, who would have thought that the Shmuley Boteak's best buddy, who would have thought that Rabbi Shmuley's top Shabbos goy would have betrayed you? Oh, I didn't vote for this. Yes, you did. Who would have thought that the guy that goes and visits Chabad Lubavitch in the Rebbe's grave and defends the Rebbe and loves Chabad and loves Rabbi Shmuley, who would have thought that this would have happened?
Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
Protect freedom of speech. Oh, you think that we deserve a president who's going to end the warfare state and rebuild the middle class? Oh, you want a president who's going to put America first?
So much for that. Look at this. It's not a betrayal, guys. No war with the... She literally sold no war with... And then once everybody pulled up her video of her saying that the IRGC is not trying to get nukes, she put out a statement and said, oh, you guys are misrepresenting this. No, it was in perfect context. So she doubled down on the lie. Repulsive. Jimmy Dore. I was watching a little Jimmy Dore. He was which I don't ever watch, but he was streaming. He was live right before this, and what they were saying was pretty good now, but too little, too late. This is what he promoted back in May. Trump dismantles the U.S. neocon foreign policy with peace and tolerance. Wrong again award, Jimmy Dore. Hey, Sneeko, why'd you delete your tweet, buddy? Look, right before the election, 3 days before the election, November 3rd, 2024, at the UFC, he says, don't care, vote Trump, our best chance at global peace. Sneeko's got about 1 million followers. He got 60,000 likes on this post. Oh, Trump's our best chance at world peace, huh? Mr. Zion, Don, and Netanyahu's buddy. All the top Zionist awards. Oh, he got the Prince of Peace award from the Jewish organization. Yeah, nice hands there, Andrew Tate. Hey, Sneeko. Oh, who warned you? Oh, Adam Green told you this is going to age badly if Trump bombs Iran. I should have said when Trump bombs Iran. And then I retweeted this and he deleted his tweets. How about that? Carlin responded and said, shame. He said Donald Trump is a sellout who betrayed America. 125,000 likes. No, he didn't betray America. He told you what he was going to do. And you wanted to grift. You wanted to grift off the Muslim shit and the Christian shit and the Trump train. Oh, if only you weren't so gullible. Or maybe he wasn't gullible and he knew better and he just shilled it anyway. I'm gonna turn the Rumble rants back on in a second. I wanted to get through a little bit of stuff. Otherwise, this you voted for him. Hey, all the signs were there. This is what you voted for. You betrayed America, Sneeko, by endorsing Zion Don. And pretty shameful to try to cover up this little oopsie, right, guys? Hey, who was right there saying who screenshotted this and bookmarked it and knew how this was going to age? This is going to age badly, Sneeko. But hey, I get suppressed and blacklisted, and I don't get to go on all the big podcasts and get boosted like Sneeko does. My tweet got a few hundred likes. His got 60,000. Oh, if only people would have listened. Okay, I'm going to turn the power chats back on and get caught up. Here we go. And then we'll get to Alex Jones and his deception in all of this, and I think he's in on it. Yeah, Sneeko's also part Jewish and a cuck. He admitted that he's a cuck. He let other guys do his girl. Thank you, Anonymous.
I sent $10, Adam, and stayed consistent. You're a treasure.
That is true. Very consistent.
Garrett sent $5. Do Muslims think we are Edom too?
They think they're Ishmael. And hold on.
Fire sent $22.22. It's moments like these that show that all politicians need to do is lie and say God bless America.
Yeah.
Even a mention of God in such a situation is proof he doesn't exist. God needs USB-2 bombers.
Yeah, he does. Is that it? Okay, here we go. Thank you, Alabama
Human sent $5 as national debt was $6.2 trillion in June 2002. Now the annual budget is more than that, and the national debt is $37 trillion.
What's Israel's national debt? Do they even have one?
Garrett sent $5. Do Muslims think we are Edom too?
Oh, good. You asked it again.
Wankabra sent $5.
Thank you.
Wankabra sent $5.
Oh, again. Thank you. I hope you meant to send that twice.
Pete Rules 247 sent $10 on Rumble. Hey Adam, just saw something on X. Netanyahu having a saggy neck and conservatives are saying that it's a mask. Thoughts?
Just retardation, conspiratard, kosher retardation. That's all that is. All the mass shit.
556 sent $5 on Rumble. Vote Democrats, you get hit with LGBT and open borders. Vote Republican, you get your life as forfeit for Israel. Edomites are constantly under attack.
Communist Zionist dialectic. I'm entertained and annoyed. So do the Muslims think that Christians are Edom? Not that I'm aware of, but the Jews definitely see them as Ishmael. Muslims see themselves as Ishmael, and Christians in the West as Esau. But Muslims do, especially like the Dugan Muslims, they see us as the Antichrist West. And they do believe in end times prophecies where they have wars with us. So even if they don't specifically know the whole story and all the roles, they still know enough of it that they're going to have the war with us as Edom. And the Russian Orthodox Church goes along with that as well, too. And the Muslims, the Christian Muslim Alliance. So I looked it up. So our debt since the war on terror started, and Netanyahu lied us into, and the Zionist neocons lied us into the war on terror. As of December 2023, Israel's national debt is approximately $310 billion. That's it. Ours is $40 trillion, and theirs is $310 billion. And they're way smaller than us, obviously, but still. Nowhere near. I bet you if you do per capita, okay, do that per capita and compare it to America per capita. Let's see what it says. We'll get that in a second. All right. Thank you guys for the support. Sorry, I had to scold you earlier, but we were way behind on the goal. And we should be making it with everything that's unfolding and the large audiences we've been having. Okay. Alex Jones. This says, This is my first response to Trump's direct attack on 3 of Iran's nuclear sites last night. Unfortunately, all of my predictions are now coming true. People like to say this. They're wrong all the time, and they ignore all the times they've been wrong and claim they're always true. We're going to see about your predictions here, Jones. But first of all, before we even watch that, here's Alex Jones in May promoting the psyop that Trump is cutting ties with Netanyahu, which was all bullshit. Either Jones is dumb and gullible and sold you this wishful thinking, or he's in on it. And given all his connections and Roger Stone and how much of a mouthpiece and a cheerleader he is for Trump, I'm guessing he could be in on it. I'm suspicious that he's in on this and helped push this line, convince everybody that Trump was turning on Netanyahu, okay? May 9th, Alex Jones's prediction that Trump would completely cut ties with Netanyahu comes true. Oh, did it? Oh, did it come true? Hey, Mr. Tooting your horn and patting yourself on the back. Did Trump cut ties with Netanyahu, or did he just did he take Gaza for Netanyahu? Did he just attack Iran for Netanyahu and claim that they're BFFs and nobody ever worked together better? Yeah, let's empty out the Alex Jones was right jar. Look at this. He says, oh, his prediction came true months ago. In this report, Jones exclusively reveals the backstory of what turned Trump against Netanyahu and why this development is so important for world peace. Yeah, how'd that one age? How'd that one turn out, Jones? Oh, Jones, the guy that shilled for Tulsi. The Jones that shilled for J.D. Vance and ran and minimized the Palantir shit. Oh, the guy that said RFK's the real deal. Bobby Kennedy Jr. is the real deal, right? Your prediction was wrong, Jones.
He is continuing to push into. I exclusively.
You see, everybody knows Netanyahu and the Zionists are a problem, so they had to work overtime with all their agents like Jones to convince you that Trump was playing 4D chess and he's running a coup on Netanyahu and he's secretly against him, right? That's what they had to sell you on that long enough for this attack. The damage is done.
We reported to the world in April that President Trump detests Benjamin Netanyahu and is, quote, done with him.
Oh, really?
Benjamin Netanyahu cause Armageddon?
Oh.
And by the way, people, Trump's real nice people in public. Trump does not like Netanyahu.
Oh, yeah, let me tell you, folks.
He never
Jones pushed this psyop. This was all a Jewish deception. The Trump turning on Netanyahu. This was a deception. And all along I said, no, they're not. He's going to do whatever he says. This is bullshit.
Trusted him before, but Netanyahu wouldn't even take his phone call when they stole the election and was the first world leader to call Joe Biden and congratulate him. What a dick. That's why when Netanyahu was there 2 weeks ago, Trump said, well, he came here, wasn't really supposed to be here. He's leaving very quickly. Bye-bye, Benjamin. And reportedly, he's been yelling at him behind the scenes.
This was a lie. Yeah, reportedly, he's yelling at him behind the scenes. Yeah, bullshit. Bullshit. Complete bullshit.
What an idiot. What an idiot. Oh, what a...
Israel mole strike on Iran despite Trump's caution. That's what they were telling us a few weeks ago back in April, huh?
Might have heard that from somebody that was there. And that's what Trump does behind the scenes, starts actually going very controlled, but like, what the hell do you think you're doing? You want to get our grandkids killed? What is your problem?
Oh, and now Jones is saying it's 4D chess and Trump is really doing trust the plan. Watch, you'll see. We'll play that next.
What the F is your problem? I mean, you can't play around with these weapons.
2020 sent $5. Hey, Adam. What do you think about installing the Shah's son in Iran after all this? When has this ever worked long-term for the West?
It's not meant to work long-term for the West. We're being set up by Netanyahu, by Trump, by Alex Jones, by all these fake truthers. And that is who they seem to, they want to get in, and they're going to do it. They'll have their color revolution. They'll have their regime change. They won't stop until they do, and it's not going to happen in 2 weeks either. I love all this outrage against Netanyahu and telling you he's in on it, dude. He's all in on it.
Get our grandkids killed. What is your problem?
Trump. What's your problem?
F is your problem.
What's your problem, Jones? You fucking liar.
I mean, you can't play around with these weapons. Today it's being reported.
Thank you, Instigator.
Instigator sent $5 on Rumble. Everyone should unplug and go camping with loved ones. Really do some meditation and self-evaluation. If there is a draft, God forbid, you better know what you're going to do.
Yeah, I've been getting the itch to go to a national park and some trees and mountains or something.
Don't worry, Adam. No need to blackmail. And the White Hats are completely in control of saving Israel for last going. Thanks for all you do, Adam. Completely vindicated.
So vindicated. Thank you, buddy.
By the Israeli news and other world news that President Trump has cut ties with Netanyahu and, of course, is now negotiating peace deals in the Middle East without even including him.
Oh, really? Oh, and the truth comes out that was all a lie, and he probably knew it, and Jones is probably the top guy that was in on it to push this lie and convince everybody of this. Dude, this is so scandalous.
On top of that, President Trump announced the ceasefire peace deal with the Houthis from the White House Oval Office during a press conference with the new Canadian Prime Minister, and did not even tell Israel about it before he did it. And that's because...
Meanwhile, Trump tweets out that him and Netanyahu are aligned on every issue. Trump just did the statement yesterday saying him and Netanyahu worked closer than anybody's ever worked before. Alex is like, oh, I heard from people on the inside. He's yelling at him. All a lie. He sold you the lie and the deception.
556 sent $5 on Rumble. Do you have a compilation of rabbis lusting over the West's destruction in Gog and Magog? This needs to be pushed so that people are aware that there is more at play here rather than JS Israel v. Iran.
Oh, yeah. We're going to work. In fact, I'm going to play a new See Through It All mix of that and a John Garadas mix at the end of this stream of that exactly. I'll put the link in the chat so everybody can share it. Yeah, the white hats are not in control. The black hats, the black top hats are in control. The small hats are in control.
Because he understands that Netanyahu is a globalist who sided with Joe Biden as well, and was the first foreign leader to recognize the stolen election for Joe Biden in 2020 and would not even return calls to Trump. But Trump buried the hatchet on that, and now, just like with Zelensky, he's caught Netanyahu over and over again on the phone saying he'll do one thing, but then behind the scenes working with people in his administration to try to sabotage things. And that's why you've seen some folks recently dealing with foreign policy being removed at the White House. So this is Trump's continued strong defense of world peace and American interest. He's now negotiating directly with the Gulf states, Saudi Arabia, central among it, for
all of fraud.
Abraham Accord 2.0.
Oh, yes. Oh, he's a patriot. We're going to get more Abraham Accords. We're totally winning. America, patriots.
He is continuing to push and to get ceasefires and permanent peace in Ukraine. He is working for the whole world, and he's winning the economic war with communist China, India, the list goes on and on, the UK. Over 100 have now signed on and are negotiating final deals. Many have already done it with the United States. There's a global political realignment happening. The old globalist system has fallen, and Trump is projecting Americana and the American system worldwide, and just doing a fabulous job when it comes to world peace and trade. He could do a better job.
Is anybody going to hold this guy accountable for this, or am I the only one that's going to have to highlight this, huh?
You sit on a throne of lies.
Schroyer's supposed to come on next week. We're going to be talking about this for sure.
Backing down the poison shots. He's already got Kennedy doing some of that. They're moving to ban fluoride. I mean, you've seen that unfold, and the borders are secure. We need to see
prosecutions of the deep state. But that's moving forward. They're trying to get Ed Martin in as U.S. Attorney.
Everything's great, Goyam.
And they've said once that happens, boom, it's going to move very, very quickly, and people are going to be very, very pleased as well. This is a real revolution. It's very, very exciting. Here's one of the clips from April where I broke.
Oh, his predictions completely come true. 17,000 likes. Your prediction was wrong, Jones. And what did I say? Look at what I said. July 2024, before the election, Trump said, elect Trump to save the republic. And I said, he's going to unstoppably get us into a war with Iran, and you will be cheering it on with your usual Zio spin. That's what I told him. Replied to him before the election, months before the election in 2024. Vindicated. And what else did Trump? Now, here's the 4D chess. Look at this. Is Alex Jones in on the deception? Just 3 days ago, the lie that Trump is going to take 2 weeks to make a decision to strike Iran. Translation, Trump was ready to strike Iran in the next 48 hours. Now he has punted out 2 weeks to give peace negotiation a chance. This is great news. And they attacked 2 days later. Jones is the agent putting out this Trump disinfo. Look, Nick Sorter, the Timcast guy, 1 million followers, he did it too. Breaking, Trump announces there is substantial chance for negotiations with Iran, so he will make his decision on a strike within the next 2 weeks. Yes, the peace president is making progress. Thank God. 2 days before the attack. Why are people still going to fall for this shit? Who's this? Tucker Carlson also? Trump's lead negotiator, Witkoff, who did a talk with Kushner. It says he's on the phone with Kushner all the time. Witkoff's critical role in negotiating global peace and the warmongers trying to stop him. That was all a fraud too. Alex Jones kept saying the same thing about he's for real and he really wants peace. The peace negotiations were a ruse. Clearly now. Now here's Alex Jones's 4D chess that he's promoting. Hold on. Here, this is what he has to say as of this morning.
Last night, I got word that Trump had struck 3 of Iran's nuclear sites while I was having dinner with my youngest daughter. And we immediately left, and I went back to my home office and began researching all the different details. I decided to not comment on it until I had slept on it, until I'd had about 3 or 4 hours once I got up this morning to research every angle.
Whenever something really serious is going down, he always has a super serious voice. He's such a fake, phony, fraud actor. Oh yeah, I did the ChatGPT per capita, the debt between Israel and America. Per capita debt for Israelis is $32,000 per person. Per capita debt for Americans is $106,000 per person. So 3 times as much, yet we're still supporting them. Is that America first?
11 to see what began to unfold, and exactly what I predicted would unfold is now unfolding. So I'll
see, and then he just gets up here and lies. So many people do this. Exactly what I predicted is all happening. Put another coin in the Alex Jones was right card. No, you said that Trump was going to wait 2 weeks to decide to bomb. You were wrong. You said he was kicking out Netanyahu. You were wrong. You said he would save us from World War III and war with Iran. You were wrong. You shilled RFK, Tulsi, J.D. Vance, and Trump. You were wrong. And he gets up here and says, I predicted everything. I'm right again. Put another coin in the Alex Jones was right jar. And all the stupid MAGA sheep followers believe him. Why don't they lose credibility? Because the average person is low IQ, low info, and has a goldfish brain. And they love being duped. That's why, apparently. I don't have any other answer. Because it's not just him, but it's all the Mockingbird, all mainstream alternative media all regurgitate the same shit. Maybe that's why, too.
I'll tell you my opinion on what Trump did and whether it was right or whether it was wrong in a little while. But first, let's just talk about the facts.
Yeah, the facts.
I predicted, and it wasn't hard to predict, they said they would, that Iran's parliament would vote to block the Strait of Hormuz, which they 100% can do. It's very shallow, very narrow, and they border it and have a whole bunch of their shipping and ports there.
Kino
so
556 sent $5 on Rumble. Apparently 66% of bankruptcies in America are due to medical bills.
And doesn't Israel have universal health care? While ours is sky high?
Their supreme leader can override that. I don't know if he will. I also said that if Trump struck those sites with the big bunker busters, that it would not...
Yeah, Israel has universal health care.
Completely take them out.
Of course.
It would take a tactical nuclear weapon to do that, and now they're saying they weren't completely taken out. And I pointed out something on Steve Bannon's show Friday and a message to Trump as well that he got to him, that the Iranians obviously would have gotten their enriched uranium, their fissile material, out of those sites, which they've now announced they did. That's their whole policy, is to hide their ballistic missiles and the bomb material that they have. They're not 2 weeks away, like the Israelis said a few days ago. They've got it, as I've been saying for many years. And now the CIA is saying, oh, we think now we've got to have total regime change because now they're really mad and now they're going to finish their bombs. So see, this doesn't end the war like everybody says it would, and that's the talking point. In almost every war game actuary, it accelerates it. Well, we're not in a war game now, it's happening. And Pakistan came out as a nuclear power and condemned it this morning. And so Iran has a very strong military. They're dug in. The mullahs are dictators. That said, though, this just expanded the war. Now, Trump is saying, and he said in his speech last night from the White House, that this is Iran's chance to now give up a nuclear program and come to the table, or it's going to get much worse. And now if Trump can claim he's taken out their nuclear capability, that puts some pressure on Israel to stop as well. Well, Netanyahu wants regime change, and he isn't going to stop. Plus, he's unpopular, so this war keeps him in power. Remember, he doesn't want October 7th stand down investigated. He said once the war's over, we can investigate why they stood down 7.5 hours, this incredible military. But the war's never going to end, basically. This is part of a long-term, 25-year plan to have regime change the entire Middle East. This is the last country they want. Iran, Syria just fell 7 months ago, and the West put al-Qaeda in charge there.
Okay, don't want to hear this anymore. Where's the 4D chess thing? Here it is. Look, Trump told Fox News that he worked with Iran to stage an attack in 2020 to de-escalate the war. I hope this is what's happening now. Still with the hope, huh? You still have hope for Trump. Hope and change, Obama. Right? Hopium addict much? He says, is this a big show? A backdoor deal? Oh, it's 4D chess. He's literally regurgitating the QAnon cope. And yes, he was one of the first people to promote QAnon and legitimize it. Him and Jerome Corsi. Iran's nuclear facilities were evacuated and equipment moved out days in advance. U.S. publicly announced and made upcoming strikes visible. No, they lied about the upcoming strikes. We all saw the bombers moving in place and the news coverage predicting the strike. That was a decoy. The bombers were already there. That was to lull them to sleep. They're admitting it was a deception. Why are you still lying about this? The U.S. hence struck an empty Iranian nuclear facility since the Iranians knew and evacuated it. There could be some truth to that. If they were smart, they would have moved it. U.S. satellites showing the evacuation. So you're saying Trump is lying about all this, huh? And it's still a win? U.S. satellites showed the evacuation of the facilities by Iranians, hence the Americans knew the facility. Okay, so trying to act like Trump is like in on some 5D chess to attack them but not really hurt them because he's not really with Israel. He's still doing his Zio spin that Trump is like actually like it's not what it seems and Trump is not really starting war with Iran. U.S. and Iran held secret talks in Oman days before. No one knows what was agreed upon. Probably nothing. Oh, yeah, Trump's working with Iran behind the scenes. He's like, wink, wink, we're going to attack you, but we're not. It's not a real attack. What is this bullshit? The only logical conclusion is that Iran and USA made a secret deal to end the war. USA strikes empty facilities. Iran will retaliate but miss. Dude, he's still going on with these lies. Still going on with the lies, guys.
JK2288 sent $3 on Rumble. Adam, look at Trump's latest post. He's calling for regime change.
Of course he is.
Yeah, well, you know, that's just like your opinion, man.
That's what I have to say about all this 4D chess. Dude, Alex is, after being wrong about everything, he's still lying to you. U.S. calls on China to prevent Iran from closing the Strait of Hormuz. They're going to do it anyway. Okay, hold on. Let me see Donald Trump. Let's see. Of course he's calling for regime change. I don't see that on his tweet. He already called for unconditional surrender. So maybe it's not on his Twitter. Maybe it was just on True Social and other people are posting it right now. But I agree with you. Just watch for Iran's response, not the words, but the actual physical response. If it is not too harsh on casualty, looks big, I'm right. He's still, dude. I could be wrong. Yeah, like you've been wrong about so much else. Dude, this is the Jones is the Judas goat. Don't get upset. Just note it as a possible scenario. I'm not here to repeat the MSM talking points of any country. Oh, you mean you're not a Zionist mouthpiece promoting all the Zog lies? Here you got the nuanced middle position. No, this is the kooky tinfoil hat QAnon disinfo position, Jones.
On January 3rd, 2020, Trump ordered the killing of Iran's main general Soleimani, if you remember. And then at the time, Trump came out on television and then again later and said, listen, the Iranians had to save face. And so when we killed him for actions that he'd done to our people over the years, they called Trump and said, we're going to fire these missiles at your base, but we're going to make a mess, which they did, and it was face-saving. So a lot of people are saying, oh, there's a backroom deal right now with the Iranians.
Oh, a lot of people. Yeah, we're going to believe you in this backroom deal. Just like you told us from insiders that Trump is yelling at Netanyahu and turning on Netanyahu and Trump was going to save us from World War III. You lied about that, and he's lying about this. Dude, this is shameful. Owen, Harrison, are you going to stand by this bullshit?
And this is all face-saving, and Trump bombed these nuke bases, but it didn't destroy them, and they already moved their uranium out, and so this is all a bunch of kabuki theater.
No, them moving out the uranium is just them trying to prepare for an inevitable attack. Trying to say Trump told them to do it or is working with them to only pretend like he's attacking is the most kooky, disingenuous bullshit ever. This is QAnon tier fucking goyslop.
JK2288 sent $3 on Rumble. There's a screenshot
yes.
here.
That doesn't look like a normal URL.
I was back then.
Trying to set me up?
Okay, but now I'm not sure. But I hope that's the case. I see kind of the Q people out there saying this is 50G, you know.
That's what you're saying.
All the rest of it, everything's fine and everything's great. Meanwhile, you have North Korea saying they're going to give nukes to...
Hold on. I love how he says the Q thing and then says, oh, there's Q people out here saying this. You're promoting the same narrative right now, dude. God, he must think his audience is so stupid. He knows he's lying, too.
Iran, so that people stop attacking him. We've got Medvedev, the big Russian leader, saying a bunch of countries are talking about it. The world sees this and understands if you got nukes like North Korea, you get left alone. If the West thinks you don't, then they'll take you out. For my information, they've had the fiscal.
Yeah, I love how David Icke's been calling out all these guys. I've been supporting him along all of this, and Ike still doesn't follow me, but at least he shared one of my compilations, or me covering a See Through It All compilation the other day. David Icke's been calling out all of these mainstream alternative media Trump frauds.
Material for a long time to make the bombs. Now they can hit Israel. I see Israel's concern. The point is, if they do close the Strait of Hormuz, as they've announced they're planning to do, I hope they back off of that. If this isn't just kabuki theater between these governments, posturing, still a lot of people getting killed, then this just races into escalation and nuclear war, according to all the top think tanks, actuaries, and
which you promised Trump would save us from.
War game groups that go on. But I'm going to post, well, right after this clip.
I got it. See Through It All.
Back at the time about what really happened. And then it's up to you to decide for yourself. I mean, I hope the mullahs take this as a chance to back down. I'm not seeing that anywhere from them, but it's all fluid right now and things change quickly. So is this all a bunch of kabuki theater? Is this 500 million D chess? We're sure going to find out, ladies and gentlemen.
Imagine still throwing it out there that this could be 5D chess. He's still keeping you tagging along. He's still dangling that bait in front of you. Trust the plan. Trust the plan. God wins.
Here's Trump talking about the last time the Iranians called him up to say, hey, we're just doing this to save face. And now Trump's saving face with this.
Yeah. Ike exposes the Jesus deception, too.
He's backing Israel. I don't know.
Oh, you don't know if Trump... Hold on. Look at this. He's still not willing to say that Trump is backing Israel. Look at this.
He's back, and now Trump's saving face with this, just to make it look like he's backing Israel.
Oh, it just looks like he's backing Israel. I don't know, guys. Maybe it just looks like he's backing Israel. Dude, fuck you, Jones. Did I not call this? Did I not call this saying he's going to get us in a war with Iran and you will be cheering it on with your usual Zio spin? Did I not fucking call this? Oh, I'm mad. Oh, I'm mad.
I don't know. Doesn't look like that to me on the surface, but we're covering every angle here.
Oh, we're covering every angle. I know it's bullshit, but I'm saying it anyway.
Angles. So we wargame this. This is what happens.
Oh, we're just wargaming. Yeah, maybe we don't know for sure that Trump's really working with Israel. Well, we have to wait and see. That's like Ian Carroll's. We need to wait and see.
Analysis, military analysis. It's not you just choose what story you want to believe and you go with this narrative. No, you've got a full spectrum, analyze it all. Like I told you, the Iranians are going to go, hey,
anything could be possible.
Uranium out months ago. Now they've released the video.
We still don't know that Trump's a Zionist plant and a Zionist frontman. Anything could be possible. Maybe he secretly hates Netanyahu. He's really working behind the scenes with Iran. You never know.
Shipping the stuff out months ago. And now it's being reported that it didn't do anything. So now Israel will say, well, we got to keep attacking and keep attacking. It just goes on and on and on. It's out of control.
You're out of control. You're the one that's out of control. And look, Lord Bebo, some big account promoting this. Anti-fake news promoting the fake news bullshit. Dude, they're still... Look, Scott Ritter, Russian agent, it's an act of theater. Trump was boxed into a corner. Iran wouldn't play his game, so he had to bomb Iran to save face. He bombed 2 empty facilities that had been struck. He bounced 6 bombs off the indestructible facility, claiming destruction despite the obvious. That's it. A contained strike, a nothing burger. This guy that's been wrong about everything. Why is all the Putin shill network doing all of this bullshit? Because Putin's in on it. Putin, Trump, and Netanyahu are all in on it. The Chabadnik mafia running all these fucking puppets, dangling their strings.
JK2288 sent $3 on Rumble. Trump's Truth Social. It's not politically correct to use the term regime change, but if the current Iranian regime is unable to make Iran great again, why wouldn't there be a regime change? Miga.
Trump even tweeted MIGA. I saw a comment about that earlier. He literally tweeted out MIGA. The meme came true. I think I can find it if I search the meme came true. Let's see through it all. Wants me to share this one. Alex Jones towing the Duganist Kabbalist Russian narrative that Russia puts out, but it's really the Kabbalist narrative, the evil global homo West, the Antichrist satanic West, and Kremlin wars. Always promoting that it's the West. Look, he says it's not the Jew. Oh, this is long, though.
And schooled and they're smart. A lot of people who watch you are learning about Alex Jones may not be able to understand this. But the point is...
Sorry, see through it all. I don't want to play this whole 5-minute thing right now. We get the point. He blames London. It's the black nobility. It's the royals. It's not the Jews. It's the secret Nazis running everything in the West. That's the narrative. It's scapegoating Edom for what Israel does. That's the point of it. I didn't realize that was so long, but I'm on the theme of exposing these guys and their 4D chess shit. Like Ian Carroll. Hey guys, remember when Ian Carroll, who when everybody else was censored from the internet and censored and suppressed on TikTok, he blew up and was allowed to go viral instantly and blew up and got on every big kosher gatekeeping platform and blew up to 1.3 million followers and right away was on Alex Jones' show. Red flag, red flag, red flag. Who shilled for RFK and shilled for Trump. Remember when Ian Carroll said he suspected Trump is in on a coup against Netanyahu a few months ago on Rogan? Well, I remember. And how did that turn out, Ian? And he's been dodging me too. He hasn't blocked me yet, but the dude's trying to act like I don't exist and never answers. He's running and he's scared.
Upon the way he talked about, like, I suspect.
Oh, he's exposing Epstein and Zionism. Oh, you mean shit that bunch of people have exposed for years now? And somehow he just regurgitates that shit and he blows up on Rogan right away? Also in this interview, he says kooky, retarded shit about, like, Pizzagate. And he says there's aliens on the International Space Station.
Trump supporters, he targets non-sympathizers, people who are pro and advocate for war with Iran and regime change bullshit line narrative and push for the bombing of move nuke sites in Iran are beyond fucking retarded and saving.
I know. Very true. He also says there's aliens on the International Space Center on this interview. Yeah, and he's got a Kabbalah bracelet on. He claims his wife's dad gave to him. Just it's ridiculous. Ian's response to the rabbis is every religion has extremists. Oh yeah, he's grifting the Bible. He's pandering to Christians like, oh, there's Satanists everywhere. Oh, well, maybe Jesus is real. There's so much satanic stuff going everywhere. Right. Just an ordinary guy poisoning the well. Well, listen to this. This was his... How did this age, Ian Carroll?
I suspect, I'm hoping I'm not blowing the lid on Trump's idea here. I kind of suspect that Trump is kind of in on a coup against Netanyahu right now. This is just my theory.
Oh, yeah? Just your stupid theory? When Trump announced with Netanyahu that he was going to take Gaza, he said, oh, it's a good business move. And hey, let's wait and see. He goes, look at Netanyahu's body language. It looks like he's surprised and blindsided by this. I don't think Netanyahu's very happy about this. Horse shit.
I suspect, I'm hoping I'm not blowing the lid on Trump's idea here. I kind of suspect that Trump is kind of in on a coup against Netanyahu right now. This is just my theory. Based upon the way he talked about, like, occupying Gaza and the way he's friends with Jared Kushner and the way he's friends with the Adelsons. I suspect that these powerful Jews, like the Adelson type people, are starting to realize that Netanyahu is kind of sinking this ship and he's kind of fucked it all up and it's not going well for Israel in the public conversation. Like I can ratio just about anyone I want on Twitter over the Israel thing because the public sentiment is just shifting and it's not healthy for anyone, for Jewish people or anyone else.
Oh, great. You ratio your 4D chess that Trump's running a coup against Netanyahu. Oh, great. Huge W. I got this theory, man. I think Trump really is running a coup against Netanyahu, man. He's turning against him. Yeah. Adelson and and who else did he say? Yeah, Adelson's turning against Netanyahu, man. They're gonna leave him out to dry, man. See, he's not doing good. Trump's turning against him, man. Oh, yeah, man. You like my mustache?
And he's kind of fucked it all up, and it's not going well for Israel in the public conversation. Like I can ratio just about anyone I want on Twitter over the Israel thing because the public sentiment is just shifting, and it's not.
He's probably botted
for anyone, for Jewish people or anyone else. And I'd suspect that the powerful Jewish people are starting to see that and are starting to scheme on how do we fucking get Netanyahu out of there and put someone in that can actually be and move us towards some sort of peace. Because without...
Yeah, Trump's just turning on Netanyahu and trying to bring us peace. Great theory, bro. Great analysis. Thanks, conspiracy, bro. Oh, man, look at Netanyahu's body language. He's totally not happy Trump's going to take Gaza and ultimately give it to Israel. Oh, Netanyahu's totally pissed about Trump's AI video where they're drinking Mai Tais on the beach and there's a huge golden statue of Trump. Oh, the Jews really hate Trump, man. Seriously, you know what I mean, man?
What an idiot. What an idiot.
And he shilled RFK as well. Mr. Habodnik RFK.
A genuine desire for, like, Netanyahu is on fucking camera saying
Kino
that they have
556 sent $5 on Rumble. Netanyahu versus Trump UFC 320.
Trump's a reality star. He played the villain is like in WWF. That's what it is. Worldwide Wrestling Federation, right? He's an actor. He's a reality star. He's a Zionist frontman. I've been warning about this for 10 years since he came on the political scene, guys. And then we got guys like Ian Carroll that show up and start doing these QAnon 4D chess Trump shilling talking points, going straight on InfoWars and blowing up and going on all the big platforms.
peace. Because without a genuine desire for, like, Netanyahu is on fucking camera saying that they have propped up Hamas in the Gaza Strip because they don't want a real government in the Gaza Strip, because it's far better for them to run this occupation and to eventually take the land if Hamas is, that's not an exact quote. Everyone should look that up for themselves.
But not just propped up, but funded.
Exactly, yeah. And intentionally kept there.
He went on Roseanne and he's like, yeah, it's just like the Satanists, man. Anybody that doesn't believe in the God of Zion, man, that's who's really running things, these Satanists. Yeah, we all just got to believe in God together, like whatever God is, man. You got to believe in God. Whatever God is to you. Fucking Ian Carroll. Look at this. Jake Shields tried to warn him. He says, this is why I'm reserving. This was November 13th. So a week after Trump got elected. This is why I'm reserving judgment on Trump's picks and just watching for now. We're just monitoring the situation, right, Ian? Now, he's made a few horrible picks, but there's something going on behind it all. Ooh, oh yeah. There's something deeper, man. There's something going on, man. Let's just wait and see, dude. There's something going on over there.
They're up to something over there. I can smell it.
I can smell it, man. I think he's running it. I think he's just making you think he's a Zionist. He's really running a coup on Netanyahu. Look, he tells Jake Shields his very first appointment was Thomas Massie. No, actually, he's attacked Thomas Massie and said, get rid of him. And he's not America first. He says, sorry, bud, I think Israel is evil too, but you're telling a story to yourself. Yeah, who's the one telling the story? Ian. He put out a video. He said, unpopular opinion, there seems to be more to Trump's plan for Gaza than meets the eye. Oh, man, there's more than meets the eye. I think it's actually 4D chess. See, he's taken Gaza to screw Netanyahu. They're not gonna rebuild it and then give it to Israel. No, man. There's just not a better solution. To all my America First homies, I'd argue that Israel's level of subversion of the U.S. government makes actively dismantling Israel's global power system in America First priority. I'm not sure how else you could do it that we're at this point.
For America.
And look, he promotes this girl, Lauren Lee. Remember I covered this girl? I'm glad to see she hasn't blown up yet. She says, this is making me emotional. Not only did Trump end the war against Gaza, yeah, as if that happened. What planet are these people on? Not only did Trump end the war against Gaza, he is now about to completely restore the region, rebuilding homes, reuniting families. After Biden funded a genocide for months, this is more justice than I ever hoped for. And Ian said, okay, he was against her. But then he said she was right about this. Where did it go? Look, he says, hold on, I'm lost here. Look at what I said. You will spin anything to run cover for Trump. This is Hopium BS. February 5th, 2025. And after he went on Joe Rogan, he promoted Liz Crokin, the QAnon, Pizzagate, Mike Flynn MAGA shill. Look, he goes, credit to she is Lauren Lee for challenging my first take on this and getting me to look closer. Just got to look closer, man. You just got to put on the glasses and see Trump's really working against the Zionists, man.
People, I think you'll make the...
To follow up on what you were saying about the Gazans leaving Gaza, going to other countries, one, where exactly are you suggesting that they should go? And two, are you saying they should return after it's rebuilt? And if not, who do you envision living there?
I envision a world, people living there, the world's people. I think you'll make that into an international, unbelievable place. I think the potential...
Yeah, they cheerleaded this along, guys. Are you getting it now? Need more Amalek. You followed politics before, but have you ever tried following politics on weed? On weed, bruh? Little half-baked John Leibowitz reference there.
The Strip is unbelievable. And I think the entire world, representatives from all over the world will be there, and they'll live there. Palestinians also. Palestinians will live there. Many people will live there. But
no, he's trying to move them all to other places.
They've tried the other, and they've tried it for decades and decades and decades. It's not going to work. It didn't work. It will never work. And you have to learn from history. History has, you just can't let it keep repeating itself. We have an opportunity to do something that could be phenomenal. And I don't want to be cute. I don't want to be a wise guy, but the Riviera of the Middle East, this could be something that could be so bad. This could be so magnificent. But more importantly than that is the people that have been absolutely destroyed that live there now can live in peace.
You ever watch politics on weed, man?
Hell. And those people will now be...
That's just like your opinion, man.
World class. It'll be wonderful for the people. Palestinians, mostly we're talking about.
Well,
and
that's just like your opinion, man.
Alrighty, and Carroll.
Kino 550. Faster results said $25.
Thank you, faster results.
Based on everything you've said, wouldn't that mean the entire system top to bottom, from dollars to delegates, are all in one way or another is completely controlled? Then I guess it's revolution?
Revolution, man. Revolution. We're going to win with love, man. God is love. Check out my Kabbalah bracelet, man. Trump's running a coup on Netanyahu. You just got to look deeper, man. Trump's taking Gaza, but it's not what it seems. Netanyahu's pissed, man. Trust me. Revolution. Praise Hashem. You ever praise Israel on weed, brah? You like my mustache, bro? Yeah, he's not high. It's calculated. The talking points have been issued, says Dominic, who was just on the show the other day, my buddy Dom. 35,000 likes. Dude, he goes crazy viral. So they're saying if you're no longer MAGA because Trump wiped out Iran's nuclear site, you were never MAGA. That's the talking point. You were never MAGA. If you're not for more wars for Israel, you're not MAGA. If you are upset that Trump took out Obama's nuclear facility, that's the other thing now. They're trying to make it a left-right issue that like, oh, it's Obama. What, you're for Obama and Kamala? You don't like Trump? You like Hillary? What, you don't worship the king of the Jews? What, are you satanic? If you're upset that Trump took out Obama's nuclear facilities in Iran, you were never MAGA. All of them saying the exact same thing. You were never MAGA. You were never MAGA. These are all bots, by the way. Or just bot humans that are lemmings and sheep. Adam Greenthumberg, that's funny. If you're no longer MAGA because Trump wiped out their sites, you were never MAGA. Like they're all saying the exact same thing. Jordan Sather, a longtime Q-tard. These strikes at Iran's nuclear facilities are a direct hit on Barack and Hillary's faction of the New World Order. See, guys, Trump's actually taken out the New World Order. How about that, guys? I want to look it up. I had a saved tweet for him as well. He said, Trump is exposing all the Zionists in alt media. Oh, and this guy, he's a top Q guy. 140,000 followers. Look. Well, we'll see how this one aged, Jordan Sather, however you fucking say it. Look, this was 5 years ago, probably 6 years ago now. I tweeted this in October 2024. He says, Trump is not a Zionist. In fact, he's helping to expose Mossad-infiltrated alternative media like Alex Jones. Oh, yeah, we're exposing Zionists and Mossad as this is the thing. They run cover and tell you, because everybody knows there's a Zionist problem, so they tell you Trump is not Zionist. That's the psyop. And now he's saying that he's taking out the New World Order by attacking Iran. Here's Melissa Redpill, another, she's huge on Rumble. Look, latest, this is the 4D chess where we go one, we go all bullshit. Listen to this one.
Opportunity. Okay, I found out a few more things I wanted to pass along to you guys. There has been absolute silence from the Pentagon. There's not even anyone in the hall, so no one in the media had any idea. This was an absolute surprise. They said it was going to be within 2 weeks. Well, 2 days is within 2 weeks. All the information is coming out of the White House. So that is unique. They don't know what to do when they don't get all these leaks. Number two, there were bombers I just posted earlier today that were going to Guam. And so everyone thought, okay, well, they're going to land in Guam and then do potentially an operation later on. Well, these came from some other location. I don't remember the name of it.
She's just a good Southern Christian woman that she thinks she's a prophet and loves the Jewish God. I saw her doing videos too saying, oh, they're fake Jews. They're Khazarian Jews. That's the Q-tard disinfo narrative as well. Oh, they're not Jews. It's Khazarians. It's the Khazarian mafia.
They said, but bottom line, a totally different location, and we're a surprise, complete surprise. So that's another thing. Of course, President Trump does everything perfectly, right? And so
Trump perfectly deceived, waged war by deception for the Jews and attacked Iran.
Then the other thing was, anyway, they did it at they said a waning moon, so it was really dark, and so they said that was a really good, opportunity to do it in a perfect weather conditions and perfect darkness conditions. So anyway, President Trump's going to speak tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern, so we'll find out more. If I find out anything else, I'll come right on and tell you guys. Love you.
Hate you. You suck. Oh, this is yesterday. Israeli sniper shot and killed a young girl as she was playing in the sand. I believe this is Gaza. Disgusting. They do this all the time, too. Should have done a warning. Oh, and they hate the Jews for no reason. Okay. You get the picture. Hey, last week, this guy, Young Hoon Kim, some South Korean, he posted some stupid video about assimilation in quantum theory, and I believe Jesus is God, and blah, blah, and then all the Christians, like millions and millions of likes across all Christian Twitter and all the internet, were like, oh, a smart guy believes in Jesus, like, take the L, atheist, we got a smart guy. Like, the Christians are so low IQ, they think some guy that claims to have the highest IQ in the world believing in Jesus is like proof of anything. They could do a study, peer review, double-blind study, whatever, and find out that the top 10%, the top 90 percentile of IQs in the world don't believe in Jesus, and they'll be like, oh, they're just brainwashed by science, and that's fake, and we don't care, we have faith. But one South Korean claims that Jesus is real, and they're like, oh, we win. Oh, we're the smart ones now. Case closed. Jesus is real. One guy said it. Case closed. And now he says, as the world's highest IQ record holder, I stand with President Donald Trump. 66,000 likes. And apparently it's a grift and a lie and not confirmed at all that he's got the highest IQ. But the Christians saw it, and they just, like, so if a high IQ guy comes out and says Jesus is fake and Jewish, what will all the Christians do? They'll just dismiss it, and they'll be like, we don't care. Whatever, oh, Reddit, oh, Fedora, they'll say that. Possibly already seeing blowback, Muslims attacking Christian churches. This was inevitable. We're going to see sleeper cell shit. We're going to see false flags. After this, we're not safer. We're all at more risk. Blew up a church. Probably a Muslim, I'm guessing. A church in Syria. Probably a Muslim reacting to what happened in Iran and what's been happening. All right, now we're going to do a couple of these quick edits. Let's see. This one's, 22 minutes. Hold on. 6 minutes. What is this? Hold on. Oh, this is the funny one. All right, who's ready for a compilation? I said I'm going to play this. We're going to go 3 hours today. Why not? It's a big show. Big day. Historic times. Huge edit from See Through It All. I think he threw this together because of the war breaking out. Share this if you... Hold on. I want to share the link too. Everybody, before we play this, immediately give this a retweet. There it is, the link in Odysee, and here it is in Rumble. Share that link. Help spread the word. Help spread See Through It All's latest mix here. Uh-oh. Shoot.
Rapidly changing.
This is the clip I was looking for yesterday. Trump on Joe Rogan saying, Joe, that the prophets, the Jews, say the world's going to end in the Middle East. And he just attacked and started that war.
The Middle East is rapidly changing. There are prophets that say the world will...
Hold on. Thank you, Kino. I'm going to pause this while it plays.
On Rumble. We need short TikTok clips of rabbis saying West must be destroyed to get to the short attention span generation.
We got those. I'm going to make new ones and repost them. Trust me, I'm on it. We need a whole bunch of compilations exposing their Gog and Magog plans of us to get destroyed by Iran, Russia, and China, for us to destroy each other. Okay, here we go.
The Middle East is rapidly changing. There are prophets that say the world will come to an end in the Middle East. You know that, right?
We all know about the arrival of the Mashiach. One day the Messiah would come. We know about Gog Magog, a major war that will take place in the world, which Zechariah 14 describes. Zechariah, the prophet, which described 2/3 of the people in the world will be wiped out in moments. We know a lot of things from the prophets and from the Kabbalah and from the Gemara. It will be a massive war in the world. We call it Gog Magog. Gog Magog, according to the prophets, and according mainly to Zechariah 14, describe a massive attack against the nation of Israel. All the nations of the world united in the beginning. Esav and Ishmael will fight with each other. meaning Christians and Muslims, will kill each other, which we see as it is right now. And then one point, they'll get up and say, wait a minute, why are we killing each other? It's never going to end. We have a mutual enemy that we should both unite and kill him. Who are they? Israel. And they make a covenant, and they turn against Jerusalem, and they come to take Jerusalem by force. And at that time, women from Jerusalem, I don't want to tell you what's going to happen to them from your respect, and many people would run to hide in holes in the deserts, and it will be a disaster for X amount of time. And then the salvation will begin. HaKadosh Baruch Hu would come and interfere with the war, and will put such death to all these wicked anti-Semite people, will wipe them one after the other. There's the prophet that lives about 2,500 years ago. He described clearly a nuclear war. Yeah, I have to remind you that in his generation there were swords, spears, and bow and arrow. No bullets, no guns, no missiles, no chemical, no atomic. None of it appears in his time. The way he described the world would be, people's eyes would melt out of their holes, would become water. People will try to hold each other and save them from drowning, and their hands will come out. And he will hold the hand, there will be nothing to hold. It will melt in his hand. The Goyim will try to help each other. The revenge of Hashem will be with no mercy at them whatsoever. Who will pay the price? The wicked Gentiles, not the righteous. The righteous Gentiles who kept the 7 laws and they love the Jews, or they saved Jews on the Holocaust, or things like that. It says like this: after this war, when 2/3 of the people will get wiped out, it will take years to clean the bodies. It won't be so simple. But the days of the Mashiach would finally arrive. How Mashiach would come? There would be an earthquake, as the prophet described, behind the Kotel, the Har HaZeitim, the Olive Mountain. If you stand across the street from the Western Wall on these old city buildings on the roof, you see clearly the mountains with all the graves. That's where the salvation will begin. There will be a big noise of shofar, in a word, big siren, earthquake, the mountain will split to 2 and start to shift. Water will come out of the ground, will be massive flood. And everybody in the world will know, in the beginning, they watch it on CNN. Breaking news all over the world. Something is happening in Jerusalem. Later, it will be all snow on the screen. Amevin Yavin. The beginning, they still can broadcast. Later on, all these wicked anti-Semite BBC and their friends, slowly one after the other, will vanish from this world. And God will clean the world from all the wicked people. It happens already once in history. When the Jews came out of Egypt, only 20% came out. Hashem will clean the world from all the people who rebel against him, who fought against him, all the idol worshippers, all the Jews, the rapists, the murderers, all the people who does all kinds of things behind the scene and things Hashem doesn't see. The world, for the first time, will be pure. The Gentiles that will be left in the world, there will be many of them, the righteous Gentiles. There's a movement now of many Goyim who are waking up and keeping the 7 laws. Those Gentiles will be admiring the Jewish nation and will receive Torah from them. We are now, according to the Jewish calendar, in the year 5,784 years. And the Mashiach must come before the year 6,000. Meaning, how many more years we have? If we are now in 5,784. So we have 216 years maximum. But the Ramban on the Pasuk in Shir HaShirim said that that's hinting to us that the Messiah must come at least 200 years before the end, which leaves us 16 years left. And these 16 years, the world will come to an end with a massive nuclear war. It's written in the book of Zechariah 14, you can read it, that 2/3 of the people in the world will die in minutes. This was written in a generation there were no guns, not to talk about nuclear. The prophet Zechariah described how God will end the world. 2/3 of the people will die, which is 5 billion people. And the other 1/3 will have a grace period of few years, that in that time God will clean all the leftover wicked people. That means 2/3 of the people in the world don't deserve to breathe another breath. Immediately Hashem will wipe them out. The other 1/3, which is about 2.5 billion people, Jews and non-Jews, will have a grace period that over that period of time they will have to repent. If they will, they'll get saved. If not, they'll also die. And then there will be the resurrection of the dead, of all the righteous people that were buried out of Israel and in Israel. And then we will build the 3rd temple, which this time will not be destroyed again. So we are now 16 years before all of that will happen, and you have to be blind not to see that it's already started. Look what's happening now. The world comes to a point now that the Christians and the Muslims will not be able to survive few more years in this world. One will have to kill the other. Because now in France, in London, they're all waking up. They're choosing now, in France, soon they're going to vote for Le Pen. In Holland, they already got someone anti-Muslim. The whole Europe now is waking up because they realize another 10 years we'll all be dead. They'll take away from everything we have here. So now the Arabs are not going anywhere. You won't find one Arab will agree to be attacked by any Christian in Europe. It will be a massive war which will ignite the whole world. And from then on, no one will have control anymore. That's what's going to be. But the bad news is that in the end, after they'll kill each other, they will all make a ceasefire and they turn against the Jews. So why are we killing each other? The ones that caused all of that are the Jews. We both hate them. Let's go and attack Israel. And that's how Gog and Magog will start. They come to Jerusalem, they burn everything, people will run to the desert. Read Zechariah 14.
This will be the plague with which Hashem will strike all the people that have organized against Jerusalem. Each one's flesh will melt away while he is standing on his feet. Each one's eyes will melt away in their sockets, and each one's tongue will melt away in their mouths. It will be on that day that there will be a great panic of Hashem among them. Each one will grab the hand of his fellow, and his hand will be raised up against the hand of his fellow. So many words. One guy, one Rasha, is trying to help his friend give him a hand, takes his hand, and all he has is his hand left. The rest of him is gone. And the wealth of all the nations, all around, will be gathered, gold, silver, and garments, in great abundance. And similarly will be the plague of the horse, the mule, the camel, the donkey, all the animals that will be in those camps, just like plague, just like this plague. Meaning that this is also a time where even the animals will be affected. In this great day of Hashem.
Zechariah 14, Zechariah Yudalet. The end of the world. How the world will come to an end. What we call Milchemet Gog uMagog. 2/3 of the people in the world will die, will be a disaster, people would run to hide in the desert. Describe a horrible disaster.
When the Navi Zechariah describes the Gog and Magog war, although without using the words Gog and Magog, he describes people's flesh, people's skin, melting on their faces. That's a description. Once again, that does not correspond to any conventional warfare that we have. That does correspond to the things that happen in nuclear Holocaust and the like. Now, the Vilna Gaon makes two very interesting points about Milchemes Gog and Magog. The war of Gog and Magog will only last for 12 minutes. What type of war could be over in 12 minutes? And that would be a nuclear war.
How can you have a war in 12 minutes? You all can imagine what kind of a war we can have in 12 minutes. All it takes is a few fingers, and half the world is under a mushroom cloud.
The Gaon Vilna says that
in 12 minutes,
2/3 of the world will die in a matter of 11 minutes. Some say 9 minutes. Either way, it's very short. But the Gaon Vilna says will last 9 minutes. Somebody says 11, but either way, everybody knows it's a very small amount of time. Where 2/3 of the world are going to die, according to the prophecy by Zechariah in chapter 14. Then during that time of Mashiach is going to come, and
this plan involves Trump and begins with war with Iran. This is what Israel is trying to get us into.
Some part of the last third that's left in the world will survive.
In this war that will take 12 minutes, 1/3 of the world will die on the spot. 1/3 of the world will be injured.
And I found here's Trump threatens regime change in Iran with shocking social post, make Iran great again.
And 1/3 will survive. Last that I checked, we're about 7.4 billion people in this planet. So you're talking about 2.5 billion that will die right away, 2.5 billion that will survive, will be injured, and 2.5 billion, give or take, that will survive. Just to paint a scenario, a nuclear bomb can fall somewhere, will probably kill 2-3 million people, but then from radiation, starvation, diseases, and so forth, will take another month, and another month, and another month, and another month. The effect can go for at least a year, just radiation. So the first ones, the first third, they're in the impact, they die. And then the next third will take a whole year for them to die. So we're talking about 2/3 of the population of this planet that will die in this war. 2/3 of the world. Capiche? Out. That's about, we calculated, give or take, about 4 billion people. 1/3 of the population of the world will survive. So we're looking at about 2 billion people.
5 billion people will die in 12 minutes. 5 billion in 12 minutes. That's what the Gaon Vilna wrote. It's called 2/3 of the people in the world. It's 5 billion. At least 5.
After this war is completed, there's going to be 7 years that it's going to take to bury all the bodies. Now, this is all going to happen soon. It's not going to happen at the year 6000. The purpose of Gog and Magog is Hashem's revenge against his enemies.
Edom, America, Rome, Christianity, Islam. That's why they want this war.
All at once, from all of the generations, the neshamot of all of the enemies will be in that last generation, in our generation, and Hashem will take vengeance against all of them, all at once, in order to glorify and magnify his name.
All the nations are going to start going against each other. They're going to just fight each other. The nations are going to fight each other, and we're going to be like with our garinim, you know, the sunflower seeds. They're all killing each other. Kadosh Baruch Hu gathers them in the same place so he can do what he needs to do to the nations. They're all the ones who went against Eretz Yisrael. The Navi describes how the enemies of Klal Yisrael will gather to attack Yerushalayim in the end of days, and they will be annihilated as part of the wars of Gog and Magog, which are also discussed by the Navi Cheskel and the Navi Zechariah. Esav will convene on Yerushalayim to attack the Arabs, and they'll both basically destroy each other. We wish both sides Hatzlacha Rabbah, and after doing that, Klal Yisrael...
They wish both sides great luck. This is what this war is about, guys. It's not a supernatural hand guiding it. It's prophecy manifesting itself by its believers. This is the Abrahamic agenda. This is the prophecy that's going to destroy us all.
This prophecy is how they enslave us.
Okay. Welcome to the real world, Judaist, Yahwehist, rabbis, Christians, and Muslims. This is where they're leading us to. This is where Trump and the Zionists are leading us to.
Welcome to the real world.
Okay.
Israel will reign supreme. That is the concept of Milchemas Gog Magog according to Abarbanel. God will cause that all the nations will gather in the Milchama of Gog Magog, which was prophesied by Yecheskel. The Bnei Edom will come to fight with the Bnei Yishmael, and then the Bnei Yishmael will fight with the Bnei Edom, and God will instigate this. Now it's not
so Edom, America versus Ishmael, Iran.
Hard to see how one day there could be a battle between the West and the Muslim world, right? That's not a hard thing to imagine. It's basically the stage is set, right? It's only a matter of someone pressing the button.
They can't wait for it.
In the future, because of what they did in the past.
Gog Magog. And Trump is their guy. Oh, the Prince of Peace, the chosen one, their Moshiach, as they've called him. All the top Jewish awards for decades. How come Alex Jones won't tell you about the Edom prophecy? How come no big accounts will help share these compilations exposing, oh, they exposed the Jews, right? But they won't share these clips? Why?
Which is the last final war, where there will be Avnei El Gavish, as the prophet says, raining down on the enemy. Avnei El Gavish are meteorites. The war of Gog Magog is the last war. It's a final war. Not everyone will survive.
The Muslims are going to go and they're going to infect the rest of the world. Everywhere they're going to go, they're going to cause havoc, they're going to cause riots, they're going to cause wars, and they're going to go against the land of Edom, the nation of Edom, which in our generation, this is the Christians it's talking about. They're going to go against the land of Romi, which we know, we gave many times sources, Romi is the United States. The nation of Romi will fall into their hands. I mean, America is strong, but not when they're going against 3-4 armies.
But Gog Magog.
So while the Zionists and Netanyahu and the Jews are saying, oh, they were defending Western civilization, and they call us the little Satan and you the big Satan, and we're protecting you from the orcs, as Rabbi Richmond said, right? What they're really trying to do is just drag us in and get us into a war where we get destroyed. That's the ultimate plan.
Gog, as painful as it is, it's like birth. In the end, it must happen. And then you have a cute baby.
Like a woman giving birth, that's Chavlei Mashiach.
Chavlei Mashiach. The birth pains of Mashiach. Before Mashiach comes and brings peace into the world and holiness into the world and the restoration of the Beit HaMikdash and the restoration of prophecy, there will be a birth process. And that birth process may involve a tremendous amount of pain.
Where's the atheist? Where's the left-wing atheist to help us sound the alarm on this plan? They're in power. They're not fringe rabbis. They've got power with Netanyahu and the Knesset and Likud. Chabad Lubavitch is the most influential and powerful religious Jewish group in the world. They're tied in with Trump. They're tied in with Netanyahu. They're tied in with Putin. Trump's surrounded by rapture-ready John Hagee, Kufi, and Christian Zionists. His cabinet is stacked full of them. Look at Huckabee. Look at Hegseth. Look at Kristi Noem. And the atheists online, the atheist influencers and YouTubers will not talk about this. It's disgraceful. You got your Christian-controlled op, your Muslim-controlled op, and your atheist-controlled op. Full spectrum dominance, covered on all sides. Protecting this genocidal, apocalyptic agenda.
Have to be a lot of problems. Terror attacks, wars, famine, you name it. Terror attacks, weird murders, diseases, floods, disasters, wars, pandemics, whatever. And there's going to be...
Hey, are your big YouTube channels and people and the worry, the concern about people calling you anti-Semitic, is that going to matter when there's nuclear war and World War III? It won't.
A pile of them. It's separating the evil from the nation of Israel, which means that righteous Gentiles that attach themselves to the nation of Israel, they're not removed. So a third of the world that will survive, which is all righteous Gentiles, because 2/3 of the world will be destroyed. It's 2/3 of evil people, which you can easily see with your eyes. I know where those people are going to be.
Righteous Gentiles are Noahides, meaning you serve them, the 2,800 slaves. You worship their God. You don't believe in the Trinity. You worship the Jews and their God, and you're a Noahide.
In all sorts of places. But you can easily see that 2/3 of the world are evil. They will be removed. The third that will remain, these are a fraction of Jews, and the rest are from the nations. They are considered righteous Gentiles, assuming they follow the Torah and the 7 laws of Noah, and eventually, after the redemption, all convert and all become Jewish. We're all going to become one nation.
The righteous Goyim that will survive will recognize the superiority of the Jews, that they are superior. There will be so much money left in the world from all the people that will die. As the prophet Zachary writes, 4 billion people will die, 2/3 of the world. Imagine how much wealth they would leave. You understand? There will be too much money. You don't know what to do with that. Anything you can think of, free of charge, for pennies. Why? There's not that many people left, and the world is full of wealth. And now instead of 7 billion people, there's first in the beginning 2 billion.
Like the Kabbalah says, they will inherit the world to come. That's their messianic plan.
Approximately survive, and from there is a period of time that Hashem screen all those one who failed the test.
The heaven above and the world below.
500 million, 750 million, maybe 200 million is the righteous Jews, maybe 2 million today, if it happens tomorrow. Maybe 2 million the most, because there's not more than 2 million religious people that works with the yarmulke. So all the other one, Mechalel Shabbat, they have no chance to survive. And the Goyim, how many Hasidei Umot Olam you have? 1% of the Goyim?
And the controlled op Christians online, what do they say? They don't help us raise the alarm about this. They go, actually, stupid rabbis, you're Edom. The prophecies say you're going to be destroyed. We're the chosen people. So sick of these Christians. The only thing they can say is, you're not chosen. We are. We have the birthright. We're the spiritual Jews. You got to go through Jesus to have the Father. You secretly worship the devil, all of these same copes. You're all accomplices in this. You are contributing to this problem. Your failed talking points have done nothing to stop it. It's only empowered it.
Not even. How many of them Noahites? How many of them love the Jews? How many of them praise God and the Torah and that the Jews are the chosen people, that they're willing to die for them? How many? No, I don't know, maybe 100 million from billions. So it's not going to be that many people left, and they will inherit all the wealth in the world. When Mashiach comes, money won't have any value, because Mashiach will clean all the wicked people from the world, which will be about 5 billion people. What's going to happen with all their wealth will come to the righteous people who remain.
Idolatry is going to said in the beginning.
We get the point.
We must obliterate Hamas, you see. And what Israel has to do, which I'm hoping, of course, they will, is they're going to what's called raise Gaza. They're going to destroy it.
There may be Muslims and Christians there now, but that's not what the religious extremists, that's not what their books say. They believe God gave them all the land and that there will be no idol worship in greater Israel according to Yahweh's plans.
Okay. There's no refuting it now. We know their plan. We know the script they're following. It's their blueprint for a one world government and total world domination, ruled from Zion. The Christians, Muslims, and rabbis are all playing their roles. That is an old clip. Good mix, see through it all. We got a shorter 6-minute, 613 mitzvah from John Garadas. Armageddon, the plan to destroy humanity. And even the Christians that are like, oh, it's just the Schofield Zionists. They're satanic. They're the synagogue of Satan. Oh, they're helping the Antichrist rule, but they need the Antichrist to rule before Jesus returns. You're still part of the problem. There should be one answer when it comes to prophecy and the God of Israel and bowing down to messiahs. If you're not opposing it, if your answer to all of that is not, forget about it. Okay? Not, but we're the real Israel. But you worship the devil. But Jesus wasn't Jewish. None of these copes, okay? It's just got to be, forget about it. Your failed talking points are not working. It only empowers them.
The enemies of Klal Yisrael will gather to attack Yerushalayim in the end of days, and they will be annihilated.
The world has now chosen sides, those that will worship the machinations of men and those that will bow down to the Creator. And so let the culling begin. The world needs a cleaning.
Let the culling begin, says the Orthodox Jew, Chabadnik, that made Stu Peters a lot of money selling his COVID pills, that's promoted on InfoWars all the time, that's featured at the top of the Mike Flynn Reawaken America tour, Zev Zelenko. And what do the Christians say when we expose the rabbis and their plans? They go, Rabbi Adam believes the rabbis. That's how stupid these people are. That's how absurd their copes are. So annoying.
If the president of the United States will be Donald Trump, then you'll know it's a matter of weeks until there will be a revolution in the world. You know the type. When you have one Trump on one side of the world and another Trump on the other side, meaning Putin, two Trumps in the same stage, I don't see how we can prevent Gog Magog. It's just a matter of time.
If I were the president, I would inform the threatening country, in this case Iran, that if you do anything to harm this person, we are going to blow your largest cities and the country itself to smithereens. We're going to blow it to smithereens.
Nomination at the Republican convention, the closing song was the song from A Sum of All Fears, The End, the movie about the nuclear bombs, right?
So what is going to actually happen is that I think there's going to be a flare-up. Whether Iran's going to shoot who knows how many missiles, I don't know exactly, but there's going to be a flare-up. And the Israelis are going to attack back, and Hashem is going to make a miracle. Just like we left in the sea, and God, like, literally, He created this, we call it the cloud dome. He created this cloud and took all of their missiles. Hashem's going to protect us. And it will be clear to the whole world, every single human in the world, that God...
And the Christian response to this is, oh, their prophecies are wrong, or they're secretly Edom, or, well, yeah, that happens, but then Jesus comes and saves us. Like, dude, you're not helping us expose this.
Standing up for the Jewish people. It will be clear at that moment that the Jewish people are protected by God, and it will be clear once and for all that the Jewish people are the chosen.
So the point is that Zacharias says that this war initially is going to destroy 2/3 of the population. So you have 8 billion people in the world. Right off the bat, 6 billion, a gun.
It's a 2/3 of the world will die. If you have 7 billion today, you are talking 4.5 billion people will die. 4.5 billion. How does it happen? Only with atomic war.
You know, there are prophets that say the world will come to an end in the Middle East. You know that, right?
Online, nukes are fake. Don't worry about it, guys. Nukes aren't even real, man. Nothing to worry, man. They're just trying to scare you. Don't worry about it. Yeah, that's what they're going to say until they're up in the air flying and we're all going to die. Nukes are fake, man. I heard Owen Benjamin say it. And the firmament's real. Some Christians will say, Gog and Magog already happened. Nothing to worry about, it already happened. Like, I don't care if you think it already happened. I don't think it's real. They're making it happen right now. That's the problem. So you coming along going like, that's not the problem. The problem is that they don't have it right. No, none of it's right. And yes, this is a John Garadas mix. The one and only epic legend, John Garadas. Everybody, I'm dropping this link in the Rumble chat, in the Odysee chat. Everybody share this on every social media immediately. Mirror it, re-upload it, whatever you got to do. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, get it up there. Help us get the word out.
America will fall. There is no two ways about it. It's just a matter of when. World War III will begin in the Middle East. World War III nuclear. Nuclear warhead will begin in the Middle East. And you know when the nuclear war happens? When Israel gets struck by the next superpower. And more than likely, it will be China and Russia. More than likely. Accompanied by Iran and North Korea. But the main players are China, backed up by Russia. Because the brain behind China is Russia. Israel will be struck, and that will be nuclear warhead, the beginning of it. Everybody will press the button.
And the rabbis will celebrate. All right. On a lighter note, let's end with this. You trying to watch the news about war after being red-pilled. And I think this is made by AI.
Family just hours ago. Breaking news, it turns out that the people carpet bombing the innocent are actually the good guys. Just kidding, that would be retarded. Let's go live to Steinberg.
So you're saying they have weapons of mass destruction again?
Exactly. It's the same excuse we've used since the towers fell. Not much has changed.
Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get PTSD from hurting the innocent, then we die for the chosen people. Yeah. Let's go, we shouldn't be here.
This non-chosen sand person lost his home and family just hours ago. But Israeli military officials say this is God's plan and questioning it is antiseptic.
Please stop!
I hear they're building a new restaurant in Tel Aviv. The chef prepares an amazing foreskin salad.
This is where I will cook my foreskins. Imported directly from the adrenochrome factory.
Oh my gosh.
I've never tried
That's
the
not
foreskin
real.
salad.
Be a good goy or else.
Right. Probably part of their...
Hold on. It really says be a good goy or else. That's funny.
I've never tried the foreskin salad.
Sounds satanic.
Right. Probably part of their Talmudic beliefs.
Right?
Shapiro.
Oh, it's so satanic. So calling stuff satanic is Jewish. Satan is the fake boogeyman of Yahweh. They believe in Yahweh. They don't worship Satan. They worship Yahweh. And until you figure that out, until you stop lying about that because you want to worship Yahweh, you're never going to make it. We're destined to lose. So you can tell a Christian made this probably, right? Jake GTV.
Stein. I miss 2001, back when we all blamed the same people. Today,
Shapiro.
everybody notices. This is why we do false flags. We go live to the dancing Israelis.
These people really know how to dance, but the real dancers are on the roof.
We're following these guys up to the top floor, no clue what's going on, but they're moving fast.
Yo, check this out. We are God's chosen people.
No.
Breaking news out of Times Square. Officials say they found a Muslim passport in the debris.
Oh, it was the Jews. Sir, are you okay? I'm sending my son off to Iran tonight.
You saw it from your apartment?
Yeah, right over there. They were just dancing.
AI is wild.
It didn't look right.
Wow. We better go fund that.
Right? It feels good to personally fund the most grotesque acts of violence. Back to you, Dennis.
Anyways, follow my boy, Jake GTV, if you're not retarded.
Wow.
We are laughing.
Breaking news.
51,000 likes on that one. I think we got another. Oh yeah, this one too. Here's Trump. This is what the dance was about all along. YMCA, our favorite song. Let's go, guys. Great stream tonight, boys and girls. Making Israel great again. Very accurate. That's what it's all about. Young goy. Wow.
Help me, Jesus! Help me, Jewish God!
Help me, Jewish God. Save me, Jewish God. All right, guys. Just another stream in the books. World War III has kicked off. Total Zionist victory. I appreciate all the support. I'd go crazy if it weren't for this community and these streams and all of you guys.
I'm just living the dream.
Just living the dream. Just living in the Zio Matrix, in the Jewish Twilight Zone. Clip the show, share the links, spread the message, give it a like. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I just got news. I'm going to be on Carlin Borisenko's show tomorrow on YouTube tomorrow night, so stay tuned for that link. I think I actually just shared that link on Twitter. Spread the message, educate yourselves, educate others. I want to tell you we're going to make it. We're going to make it. It's going to be okay. There's light at the end of the tunnel. Maybe. I hope so. Carlin's in the chat. She says it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. Share the links. Help get the message out. Hey, maybe after being so right after all these years, I need a break. Like some big influencer, give me a like or get me on a podcast. Somebody, something, please. I'm desperately asking to help get this information out there. All right. Love you all. Everybody have a nice night. Stay tuned. Grab your popcorn. It's going to be biblical. Down with Yahweh. Hail the old gods. And I will see you guys again very soon. Tomorrow. Take care.
Honestly, at this point, I would trade over 2,000 years of Abrahamic death cult matrix for a more healthy pre-Abrahamic world than this fucking monstrosity.
Yep.
I don't care anymore about, but our ancestors were Christ cucks and shit. They were wrong.
No, we need to get away from the Abrahamic religions. If that, it's more important and apparent now than ever.
$10 on
Thank
Rumble.
you.
Have you ever looked at how much money, it's over $500 billion, that the Jays have unjustly taken over the hollow hoax/laughing gas
Oh, yeah,
chambers
a whole
that
lot
never
of money.
existed? Is that how they've bought off the world's govs?
The golden goose. It's one way. Banking, media, finance,
Beowulf
education.
sent $10 on Rumble. Good work, Adam, and see through it all.
See through it all is the man, the goat, the legend.
Kino 556 sent
Thank you,
$5
Kino.
on Rumble. Is life even possible after a nuclear fallout? If not, then what use are bunkers? What world will there be to inherit?
They say the lucky ones are the ones that die in the blast. The fallout can be even worse.
Faster Results sent $10 on Rumble. New viewer BTW, seriously though. All info gathered, what would you have people do?
Spread the info.
Find out the truth and bury our heads in the sand.
No, scream it from the rooftops. Is spread it as much as you can.
Kino 556 sent $5 on Rumble. This see though it'll edit gives me Dr. Strangelove vibes.
It's Twilight Zone. It's Crazy Pills vibes, for sure.
Froggy sent $8 at him at this point. We're so beyond fucked it's worse than a nightmare because we can't wake up from it. Thanks, Jews, Tristan.
Well, we're awake from it. We're actually awoke, unlike the based and red-pilled people that still believe in Jewish prophecy
Trevka sent
and
$5
Jesus
on Rumble.
and Trump.
Have a drink on Milad.
Not drinking still, but I will have a... I'll have a healthy drink. All right, is that it? Is that it? Sounds like that's it. Okay, appreciate you guys. You're the best. Huge support tonight. Huge show. Love you all. See you again very soon. And I guess I'll give you another outro since we already heard blame it on the ADD. No, let's do this one. No, let's do this one. No, let's do this one. Dark Knight or Something in the Way. This is the vibe. This is how I'm really feeling. Batman mode.